Chapter 221 God-Level Lizard Dragon. 38 theaters, ready to start. Federal assessment. One more. Holy Terra. The golden beach under the moonlight is extremely beautiful. At this time, the Mermaid City in the distance has been built. The city is not big, but very prosperous, which also serves a variety of cuisines for Chen Mo's manor. Now Chen Mo has very few mother stars to order takeout. Instead, the raw materials are purchased directly. Among the mermaids, many chefs have been trained, and with suitable materials, it is easy to make various delicacies. The cost of eating and drinking, Chen Mo is already very high. It's a huge difference from just ordering something at the beginning and dealing with it. There is a group of people who serve themselves and own the properties of more than a dozen planets. Life is really cool. It's no wonder that so many people are trying their best to become the master of Star Souls. Chen Mo looked at the hazy moonlight outside the window and sighed slightly. While eating a delicious dinner, he listened to the Queen's narration. So it's a bunch of organized monsters. Chen Mo was a little stunned. Life in the universe finally appeared. But the way, and what he imagined, is somewhat different. Yes, masters, according to the observation of the commander on the scene, their biological makeup is very complex. We've even found a golden man in it. But what is certain is that this golden person has nothing to do with the Temple of Heaven. I guess they are gangs like star thieves, robbers, and wanderers. Have someone drive them away and that's it. But by chance, I discovered that they also used communication devices, and one of them was wearing a kind of dark armor. Dark armor. Speaking of this, Chen Mo is not sleepy at 29. You mean, yes, the master is the lizard dragon scales. The Queen smiled, leaned over gently, and poured Chen Mo a glass of fine wine. Then continued, the degree to which the scales absorb rays, and even the quality is better than ours. These monsters are related to god-level lizard dragons. So instead of rushing to drive them away, I pretended not to notice, let them peek at the edge, and left. I believe they will be back soon. Chen Mo nodded with satisfaction to the Queen's actions. At the same time, he also suddenly understood. In the first few days of successful star core planting, the period when it was most likely to attract life in the universe, why was no one found? Moreover, opening the portal so frequently to transport various materials, space fluctuations are also very easy to attract life in the universe. But none appeared. Original. The reason is here. There is a high probability that these monsters are attracted by more powerful individuals or a certain breath. So they all changed halfway. Then gathered. What the Queen observed not long ago should be the success of the monsters gathering. Something wants to take advantage of these monsters. Of course not one or two. But one after another, the accumulated monsters will be quite large in number. Among them, there is no lack of cosmic life at the peak of legend. As for the lizard dragon, it can be confirmed that it is already a god level. It's very strange, I don't know why the other party didn't appear directly. However, when Chen Mo thought about it carefully, he came to understand that the matter of killing the lizard dragon, in the Star Soul world, he would naturally know it by asking casually. But for outsiders, this is indeed a difficult thing to know. The lizard dragon may already have a lot of clues, but it is still unclear what is going on. The other party is also secretly investigating. Anyway, the lizard dragon finally appeared. The next time those monsters come, break them up and find a few as eyeliners. Chen Mo told the Queen. Backed by the Star Soul world, and Chen Mo will soon become the master of the Star Soul. Therefore, he is not very afraid of the god-level lizard dragon. Instead, some expect the other party to come to the door. But it is not easy to find each other. God-level lizard dragons are definitely more greedy for life and fear of death, and they are more cunning. Otherwise, it is impossible to mix to that level. The other party must be very far away from here. I just gathered a group of pendants to do things for myself. Good host. The Queen readily took orders. He didn't dare to take action by himself. He just sent some rogues over, which has no meaning other than giving us benefits. Since seeing the fortress with Chen Mo, the Queen has a clearer understanding of the true strength of her master. So even after knowing that he was missed by a god-level enemy, no worries either. Instead, they are excited, because if there are some difficulties, they can reflect the role of their servants. Good. Indeed it is. Chen Mo smiled and nodded. This tiberium mining area can not only provide me with a steady stream of ore, but now it has another benefit. It can provide me with possible evolutionary opportunities. As a god-level cosmic life, the means and efficiency of the lizard dragon to gather cosmic life must be much higher than mine. There must be many outstanding individuals among them. You can contribute an evolutionary force to me at that time. As long as he can obtain evolutionary opportunities, Chenmo would rather take the risk of losing certain resources. Evolution is his fundamental strength. To charge more genes means power. With the increase in strength, it is increasingly difficult for Chenmo's exclusive race to obtain suitable high-quality genes. And the god-level lizard dragon. There is no doubt that this is the only living organism known to Chenmo so far that can provide him with a chance for evolution. And Chenmo believes that it will be a very powerful opportunity for evolution. Just the scales made him drool. From this point alone. Exploring. Source. Knowledge is not as valuable as this. Before becoming a star god, he has already obtained the clues to advance to the star god. Thanks Lizard Dragon. Great news for him. By this time, it was almost past dinner time. Mu Yao sent a video request. Congratulations to Boss Chen Lu. Now that your reputation has spread far and wide, it is estimated that the Federation will conduct a phased battle assessment on you tomorrow. The reward is a spray, which is really enviable. She smiled and rolled her eyes. At this time, she already knew the news of Chenmo's victory. Therefore, I specially picked this time and sent a video to congratulate me. Of course, gossip is gossip. When it comes to business, she is still very serious. My factory is already expanding. I have finished processing the batch of goods you gave yesterday. I'll have someone send it over later, and you can see how it looks. Don't be so troublesome, you can just sell the goods directly. Chenmo said. He doesn't care whether the energy block is in good condition or not, and it has no effect on his income. After all, the market price is very transparent. He only needs to get his part of the income, a total of about 2 billion, and that's it. At the same time, he was slightly surprised that Mu Yao, who had been operating in Shanghai City for many years, managed to get things done so quickly. Ability is indeed possible. Generally speaking, temporarily adding a lot of valuable equipment is not what you want to do. The founding planet of the consortium will not wait for others. You need to make an appointment in advance, or if you have a good network, you can cut the queue in advance. Thank you Boss Chen for your trust. Then I went directly to the sales channel and sold it. Mu Jin stuck out his tongue and made a playful expression. She didn't find it herself. In front of Chenmo, he removed his business disguise. Less serious, more girly. Of course, this is also the reason for the close cooperation between the two, and many details have been finalized. No more haggling needed, so she felt very relaxed. It's too late, I have already contacted some of the fishery sales channels, and it should be able to be done before you ship. By that time, the portal between us should have already been built. Can I come over to avoid dinner then? Mu Yao joked. Welcome, Mr. Mu can come to guide the work at any time. Chenmo replied with a smile. Hang up communication 783. There was a smile on the corner of Mu Yao's mouth, chatting with Chenmo, and it felt good. When the construction of the portal is completed, the transaction between the two parties can officially begin. At that time, there will be a steady stream of goods that pass through her and flow into the entire Star Soul world. I believe that a mineral planet that once ranked first, as well as a large number of high-quality agricultural planets, can shock many people. Not to mention a whole planet of War Zone 33 joined. But my work has finally come to an end. An extra shift tonight. Try to get things done, and the equipment is fully purchased. Mu Yao breathed a sigh of relief, and patted her delicate little face lightly. She has been so busy these days that she is dizzy. Chenmo can stop here for a while, that's fine. After all, the other party is too aggressive. If she keeps doing it like this, she will work overtime every day, and she really can't stand it. Of course, Mu Yao doesn't know yet. Staring at the dark circles tomorrow, she will start working overtime again. Because, she will find that Chenmo is about to open up the 38th theater, and there is a new business that needs to be opened. Another night passed. Chenmo slept comfortably until he woke up naturally. At this time, his watch chimed. Okay, is Luo Bing's portal ready? Chenmo suddenly felt joy in his heart. But when he opened the watch, he found that it was not Luo Bing who contacted him, but the federal official. Chenmo, hello, mister, we have begun to evaluate your combat achievements in stages, which may involve on-site evaluation. Please be prepared. Looking at this news, Chenmo suddenly remembered. After he occupied the 33rd theater, the Federation did come with such a reminder. At that time, I thought that I would be able to get the reward directly after a while. Unexpectedly, there is also an on-site evaluation stage. But, this stage is not over yet. Everyone thought it was over. But he's different, he hasn't done it yet in the 38th theater. Chapter 222. The battle is over. No, the big one hasn't been done yet. Shocking review team. 2 more. Actually more than Chen Mo. The entire 33 theaters are in the process of battle settlement. And this is all because of Chen Mo alone. He is so powerful. As a result, the battle was completely over. All planets have been lightened again. There is not even a root hair left in the Temple of Heaven. As for the Tianshan Temple attacking again, that is another matter. From the perspective of cultivating new players to compete, this war zone has come to an end. However, it all came too suddenly. After all, other war zones are still fighting back and forth, and they are still using various strategies to combine vertical and horizontal. And here, just because of Chen Mo, the sky changed overnight. Speechless, well, the 33rd theater has started to review the battle process in advance. I don't even have all the weapons ready, so tell me that the battle is over. You can still listen to it if it's not over. The people in the Tianshan temple were killed by Chen Mo, and the non-vegetable roots were all dug up. The natives were all kidnapped. We didn't get a single contribution point. The way, only relying on a little harvest from mining, this wave really cried. Fortunately, we were going to lie down. It's Lu Fan who should cry the most. Indeed, we are just lying down. Others are different. They still want to get a good ranking and get rewards from the Federation. Chen Mo, the boss, has won this time. History has long been made. Creating a fart, do you know what a late mover advantage is? I heard that many bigwigs are all engaged in alliances. Chen Mo can't interfere with other people this time. The thing that robbed the planet like last time will not happen again. After calculating this wave of records, Chen Mo's final contribution value is basically determined. The record and the total contribution value at this stage are calculated separately. There is no doubt that the record is the best in the world, but when it comes to the contribution value, it's really not necessarily. The overall value of 33 theaters is the lowest. Of course, there is no doubt that Chen Mo will win the grand prize in this battle. But the entire theater is sold, and the value will not exceed 400 billion. The 38th war zone is the king's way. Unfortunately, Luo Bing is too afraid to offend the rest of the people too much, and actually only occupies the mining area of AA1 planet. She got this one by relying on that ambush. The layout is small. You can see Wang Yifeng next door. He is silent, he directly occupies 2 planets, and they fight against the Temple of Heaven very quickly. Because Chen Mo killed the main force of the Temple of Heaven in this area last time, the Snake people and the Golden people seem to have read it. It's a bargain to pick up Chen Mo. This time the contribution value is the first, it should not be Chen Mo's. Indeed, it should be born between Wang Yifeng and Li Long. They are both supported by a consortium behind them, and their funds are very strong. FK off. Sell the planet in your hand. What kind of skill is it? Get up early in the morning and look at the chat messages in the newcomer area. Luo Bing almost didn't laugh out loud. These people are really optimistic. Is she not making money? No, it's just that she doesn't dare to earn too much. In other words, just take your own. The rest, let them play freely. Anyway, that was working for Chen Mo. I just hope that when the time comes, they don't cry out loud. The record and contribution value must be the first for Chen Mo. By the way, the portal on my side can be built today. Think of this. She sent a message to Chen Mo. Ask him when he will come. I can be here anytime. Luo Bing finally said. But wait, Chen Mo didn't reply. Probably still sleeping. After all, nothing has happened. I really envy this guy's life. When can I be so relaxed? Chen Mo should have been promoted to Star Soul once, right? Maybe he will be able to become a Star Soul powerhouse within a year. Luo Bing couldn't help thinking. Of course, she no longer has the mentality of catching up at this time, but she is simply envious. Such a talented person, it is quite good to be able to cooperate with each other. I just hope that I can barely catch up with each other's footsteps and not be thrown too far. Holy Terra. Chen Mo wasn't sleeping. He didn't reply to Luo Bing's message, it was because someone came. Gotta say hi. Hello Mr. Chen Mo. My name is Li Li, this is my federal work permit. I will be in charge of this record check. But don't worry, we are just looking at it casually, doing publicity by the way, and it is inconvenient to disclose, you can leave it alone. We're only concerned with whether your main source of income is compliant. And the main battlefield, take us to see. If inspections require delivery fees, the review team will reimburse them. Li said. The expression is quite formal. It's rather serious. Lined up behind her, she is also a team that looks quite capable. Chen Mo can feel it. These people are not weak. Maybe not a star soul powerhouse, but definitely an elite among ordinary people. In fact, it is possible to mix a public office within the Federation. Neither is simple. After all, in theory, their top boss is the 100 members. Star Soul World Top 100. Therefore, the status of the federal personnel is not low, second only to the master of the Star Soul. If you dare to attack them, that is also tantamount to contempt for the authority of the parliament, and the consequences are quite serious. Welcome, Captain Li. This way, please, let's go to the manor and sit down and talk. Look at the book data first, and then I'll show you on the spot, how about it? Chen Mo said. Thinking about it carefully, this review team came at just the right time. In other words, the federal, so long, only sent someone to verify the situation. Can also endure. After all, the watch is only used as a simple detection data. There is still the possibility of forgery. Normal people don't care, but Chen Mo is the number one and is now famous. The more so, the more cautious the top. On Chen Mo's side. In fact, all kinds of achievements and income have already opened the door to the ridiculous, and the ridiculous is home. It seems abnormal that the Federation has been indifferent. Now, through the formal process, sending someone over to take a look, it is ready to settle the reward. Wait for this process to be completed. Chen Mo can directly take the prize. The strongest rookie ever, and in the final stage, sweep the entire war zone. What would such a reward be? Just thinking about it makes Chen Mo look forward to it. That's Mr. Fang Chen. Li nodded lightly. You are welcome. As a federal official, and she is also a Star Soul powerhouse. Mentally, she is very relaxed. But to be honest, she is also very, very curious about Chen Mo. I've heard about this genius long ago. See you this time. Really extraordinary. And she always felt that the other party's strength was extraordinary. It's not as simple as it seems. Could it be that the opponent is already approaching the level of a Star Soul powerhouse? This thought flashed through Li's mind, but immediately, she felt amused. During this time, I was really busy. Before I came, I was afraid that I was also brainwashed by Chen Mo's record. Just a newcomer, no matter how talented. Not so. Of course, these leaves are not what she should care about. She's a very disciplined person. If she should not understand, she should never ask any more questions. Otherwise, he would not be the captain of the review team. Under the leadership of Chen Mo, the review team of 15 people came to the manor. What a beautiful manor. This planet is unusual, and it feels like it has reached the level of a garden world. This is outrageous. Doesn't the data say that this is a barren planet? It shouldn't be so fast to transform and upgrade. Shouldn't these facilities and sites be seen on the planet of the Star Soul Lord? Ahem, the mermaids here are paired with this golden ocean, it's a fantastic sight. Wow, so beautiful. The captain of the review team is a female leader. Therefore, there are a lot of young women. One by one, at first, their faces were still cold, and they seemed more capable. But at this moment, along the way, gradually began to become restless. After all, girls are always less immune to beauty. Couldn't help but praise. Quiet, Li said. As soon as she spoke, the entire team was suddenly quiet. Forbidden. As the captain of the review team, Her Majesty is still quite heavy. The subordinates babbled and looked surprised, too much. Of course, she was actually a little surprised in her heart. Just didn't show it. Permanent parent star channel, semi-permanent portal. And the warehouse over there, if I'm not mistaken, was built to a high specification. Do you need such a large, high-spec warehouse? Is it all tiburium in it? If it is estimated according to the area, but what can be seen at present, the cost is more than 110 billion. This does not yet calculate the price of the corresponding knowledge. A female examiner said calmly. The estimate is pretty accurate. Chen Mo curiously looked over. She was a female examiner with a bewitching figure and a beautiful face. Also wears a pair of gold wire glasses. It looks like Li's assistant. She has been evaluating various values, but Li, the captain of the review team, has no opinion. I'm so envious. I had this 1% ability back then, so I wouldn't be an errand runner. Not only that, but there are also demigods. Did we come to the wrong place? Many sensors, including Captain Li, did not dare to make a sound, but through the watch, they could also communicate. After all, don't complain. Can't hold back. This newcomer's planet. Absolutely the most outrageous thing they've ever seen. After Chen Mo finished telling them the data, open the portal and send these people to the war zone. After checking, then there are the tiberium mines. Finally, the surprise could not hold back. It all turned into exclamation. My God, this whole planet is. It's the first time I've seen such a huge mining area. The cost is tens of billions, right? To be precise, about 60 billion. Money is not the hardest thing. The hardest is getting the star core and the corresponding knowledge. And if I deal with the next attack of life in the universe, the radiation intensity here, and the fluctuations in space, if I have no statistical errors, the probability of encountering an attack should exceed 90%. Quote. But now it's in order. Obviously, Mr. Chen's exclusive race is very powerful, or. The woman with glasses analyzed it carefully. However, she didn't say what she said later, obviously realizing that this was not her responsibility. Of course, this also benefited from Li on the side. I saw her cough softly and stare. At this moment, by virtue of this planet alone, Li has no doubts. To sell this planet, Chen Mo deserves the first place in contribution value. And his source of star core manufacturing knowledge, as well as the source of tiberium wreckage, have been investigated, and there is no problem. All this, although there is an element of luck. But it's all based on the opponent's strength and deserves it. Unbelievable achievement. Huge resources and fighting legions. Congratulations, Mr. Chen Mo, I declare. Etc. Chen Mo spoke suddenly, interrupting Li's words. The reward this time is mainly based on the contribution to the war zone. If I can still increase my record against the Temple of Heaven, can I add some more rewards? Chen Mo asked with a smile. Rewards, he is not too much, of course, to maximize. Fair use rules. It's not like this, the reward calculation this time, the record is only counted until you completely defeat the Temple of Heaven. If the opponent counterattacks the theater again, it will not be counted in it. After all, if you count again and again, won't you keep adding points? Of course, based on your grades, don't worry, you've already won the first place. I can guarantee that no one can surpass you in record. However, the contribution value may be overpaid by the rest of the newcomer area. It's really a pity. But it doesn't matter. That fake name, the consortium will take it if you want. After all, the big reward comes from the record. I will sell it first, and you will be very pleasantly surprised when it is finally announced. Li said. At this time, she was already smiling. Patiently explained Zhao Nuohao. Explain. He also spoke to comfort Chen Mo. Let him not think too much. On the side, many censors saw this scene. Surprised. You know, their heads are very strict. This is the first time I've seen her so kind, explaining so much to a newcomer. It's a pity though. They serve as censorship members within the Federation. Annual competition. I've seen more. Like Chen Mo, without any background, being able to become the actual number one is already very good. Simply a miracle. But it is really difficult to be the first in contribution value. For now, the hope is not great. Because the consortium forces can't get the first record in this round, they must exert their efforts in the total contribution value. As an individual player, Chen Mo has to consider the follow-up benefits comprehensively. It is impossible to endure the power of the consortium and follow the sale of planets, it is not worthwhile. Unless more than a dozen planets are occupied, or many mining areas. How is it possible? The 33 theater is full. If it was me, I wouldn't take this tone and sell the tiberium mining area directly, and see who dares to compete with me for the first place. As soon as I sell this, I will directly reach 6 or 7 planets. You're stupid, thanks for buying it. It's boring to argue. That's right, it's not a consortium, it's not bad for the first place in the contribution value, anyway, the first place in the newcomer area can't run. For a time, the censors also whispered. Team Li, I can go to other theaters to fight. Chen Mo realized that the other party had misunderstood. Explain immediately. In other war zones, the cost of the portal alone is sky high. Li was taken aback and frowned. Ask the Federation to open the portal and calculate the money according to the quality, and the cost can be as high as the sky. Etc. All of a sudden, Li's mind flashed, and the semi-permanent portal he saw between them played. Could it be that? For a moment, she stared at Chen Mo with wide eyes. Chapter 223 Star Soul Powerhouse. Impossible. The mermaid queen of bold acts. Not long after, Li left Terra with the censorship team. No more mention of ratings. Although Chen Mo didn't say it clearly, he just nodded. But she probably knew Chen Mo's plan. As for the other players, she didn't tell. This matter has not yet been finalized, and it is not easy to spread. This is true of the personal combat privacy of the players. If it is revealed, it may affect the opponent's battle. As a very professional old man who has been in the Federation for many years, she is very clear that she cannot help with these things, but she must not cause trouble. The best way at the moment is, as Chen Mo said, don't review the record in advance, the battle is not over yet. Of course, there are also smart people in the review team. For example, her clever niece. Although the other party didn't speak, he saw that she slightly raised her glasses. Li knew that the other party had already guessed the answer. And no more than she does. How do you think Chen Mo will win? Li asked directly. If I'm not mistaken, Chen Mo is ready to take the 38th war zone. All the resources in this war zone add up to the most. His contribution value will reach an unprecedented level. So much so that the rest of the players even occupied the entire war zone and even sold part of the planet. The contribution value can never exceed him. Quote, I was wondering why Chen Mo didn't choose this war zone. Now it seems that it was premeditated. Li, have a plan. 800 inches. She was stunned for a moment. Doesn't that mean that he has obtained the portal base a long time ago and has a suitable partner? Not only these. The girl with the gold-rimmed glasses smiled. Calculate carefully. You will find that Chen Mo's funds cannot support such a huge construction. Just making the star core and the portal construction is a huge sum of money. Expenses. There is only one explanation. That is, the way he gets the money, which is far more than the declaration. There are many resources, which he directly consumes after obtaining it. His actual results are much more terrifying than the book data. The girl analyzed with certainty. Li nodded in agreement. What a terrifying strength. If I were a teenager, I would definitely get this little man, and I wouldn't mind if something happened. As she said that, her peach blossom eyes picked up and looked at her niece. Means something. Her niece's appearance and figure are all of the best. And arrogant. But no matter how arrogant, in front of Chen Mo, he is definitely calm. I'm not interested in men. Unexpectedly, the girl is so straightforward. Then he said to himself. So we're going to take a formality this time. There might be an adult who has already taken a fancy to Chen Mo, and there won't be any problem with his record. Said the girl. The review team just follows the regulations and takes the form. In addition to making Chen Mo more famous. Not so useful. It's true, so we shouldn't reveal anything about Chen Mo, or else his plans will be affected, which would be bad. But his mining area is a hidden danger. The girl raised her eyes and said seriously. Li didn't let her talk before. Now in private, it's not a problem for the two to chat at all. Do a good job, adding a lot of contribution value to him. If it doesn't work, maybe the entire mining area will have to go to waste. In order to compete for the first place in the contribution value, the battle in the 38th war zone may not be worth it. Hearing what her niece said, Li was shocked. Did you find anything? She asked hastily. The radiation intensity of that mining area, according to my estimation, is almost certain to attract cosmic life, plus the portal that is opened at least twice a day, the space fluctuates, sprays. In the dark universe, it is as bright as a light bulb. These two things are the most sensitive to life in the universe. Now that they are superimposed together, I can be sure that there must be life in the universe paying attention to it. But at the scene, we didn't find any traces of fighting. There's a big fight behind it, and Chen Mo probably didn't expect it. Li, good opportunity, you can go to remind, this is considered a familiarity. Li was very excited. As expected of her own niece, she found a breakthrough that impressed Chen Mo so quickly. If she doesn't go, then, let her daughter go. Don't be too happy, people's genius may be beyond our imagination. After all, I can analyze things. I don't believe that Chen Mo is not prepared at all. Maybe he doesn't care at all. Once this guess comes out, both were stunned. The smile on Li's face froze. It's not possible, the hordes of cosmic beings, even the Lord of Stars and Souls, must be afraid of 3 points. After all, unlike ordinary powerhouses, life in the universe is too large. In the same rank, with their huge strength and energy, they are generally invincible at the same rank, and even able to challenge beyond the rank. So I don't understand, does Chen Mo have any secret weapons? Or, he is going to be promoted to the Star Soul Powerhouse, and then he can acquire more CJDD, stronger knowledge. Speaking of this, the girl herself smiled and shook her head. This guess is really too outrageous. But anyway, she decided to pay attention to Chen Mo's affairs later. In fact, what the two of them didn't know was that their whimsical guesses were basically correct. But excluding all possible, even the most unlikely options, is the correct answer. Chen Mo will be promoted to Star Soul Powerhouse. Holy Terra. At this time, Chen Mo just replied to Luo Bing's message. In half a day, the semi-permanent portal will be built, and the performance will be tested again. His army is ready to go. In 2 days, I should be able to occupy the entire 38th theater. There are 15 life planets with extremely rich resources, and there is a floating city of the Temple of Heaven. Just defeating the Temple of Heaven and occupying so many planets may attract the attention of the laws of the world. At that time, if you get any evolutionary opportunity, you will be able to break through to the Star Soul Powerhouse. Outsiders would never have imagined that Chen Mo occupied an area, and the time was not calculated according to the battle time. Chen Mo occupies the 38th war zone, and he expects to spend the most time counting various harvests and evolving the planet. After all, in this war zone, although the Temple of Heaven was defeated once, it was still active on many planets. The huge amount required Chen Mo to purify for 2 days. However, this also means that a large number of parasites join his astral world. In addition to enslaving the planet and connecting all things, Chen Mo also continues to devour the indigenous people. Their genes enrich the gene pool, and their consciousness is all attributed to the astral world. At this moment, the consciousness body possessed by the Chen Mo astral world has reached a scale of 70 billion. Each of these can be seen as a parasite. Master, the tasks you gave me have almost been completed. If the time comes to fight, I can take the lead. The queen spoke softly. At this time, after sending off the review team, there were only 2 people left in the manor. It's not necessary. Whether you go or not, the result will be the same, and the efficiency will not be higher. Chen Mo shook his head. The main difficulty lies in collecting loot and parasitic infection of the natives. These things basically do not use the powerful attack power of Queen Ash. Then what else can I do to please the master? Master, can you talk about it? What can I do? As long as it's within my power, it's fine. Even if it doesn't work, I can still learn. I have a strong learning ability. At this time, the queen is relatively familiar with Chen Mo's temper. She knows that if the owner likes to ask if he doesn't understand, he speaks directly. And last time, Chen Mo also said it himself, if you don't understand, you can ask directly. And now, this is what she doesn't understand the most. She was eager to know a more definite answer in her heart. Do what? Chen Mo looked at the queen standing in front of him. The beauty of the queen is beyond doubt. The body is also top-notch. At this time, the sun was shining, and on the scales of the queen's abdomen, a dazzling golden light shone. Very attractive. Do you have any ideas? Chen Mo couldn't help but smile. Asked. He felt that since the queen would ask, she must have some ideas in her heart. Look at each other. What can you think of to make yourself happy? It feels interesting. What am I? The queen looked stiff. The way the little fox said was rolling in her mind. At this time, the surroundings were silent. She hesitated. Finally got the courage. Going to Chen Mo. Tiptoe. Chen Mo was startled by the soft touch of his face sliding over. Question mark. Chapter 224 I am addicted to beauty. The Legion attacked the 38th theater. 2 more. What a guts. How dare you lick my saliva? Chen Mo's face turned pale, and he said seriously. Bold. Just touch my left cheek like this. Is my right cheek unworthy? Other places, you can also try. The queen is also bold. At this moment, the master looked serious when he met, and immediately closed his eyes. Waiting for the penalty. Ah, really useful. Hey, Chen Mo, what are you doing? I sent you a message in the morning, and you will only reply in the evening. Luo Bing's teleportation formation has now been constructed. Sent a video. A look of doubt. If it weren't for an endless stream of armies coming, dragging a large number of weapons. She had to think that Chen Mo had forgotten about it. There is really something to discuss with the other party. So she couldn't help but post a video. Hey, why are you still sleeping? Luo Bing looked at Chen Mo as if he had no clothes on and was still lying on the bed. Did something go wrong? What time is it? Hiss. Chen Mo took a deep breath. He quickly patted the queen's head and motioned her to stop for a while. Let him take a breath. Take some time to talk to Luo Bing. After all, enjoyment is important. But doing the right thing is still necessary. Proper relaxation is necessary, but if you delay too much time, things will be too late. Well, I've been busy today, and I'm only ready to rest now. I have made a plan. My army will move step by step under the leadership of the commander, and they should be here now, right? Chen Mo quickly changed the subject. Well, I came here, and I brought a lot of tiberium ore. But I don't have a warehouse here to store it. Fortunately, I have a quick response. I asked them to put the ore into outer space. However, the efficiency of your legion is indeed very high. It is too powerful. I would like to ask, when will the official attack start? The floating city on the side of the Temple of Heaven is not easy to fight. There is a shield there. When such a large army passes by, they can find it in advance from a long distance. Should I let people sneak in first and destroy those giant naval guns? Luo Bing asked. At the same time, she muttered to herself, what is Chen Mo doing? Hissing, eating chili. It feels weird anyway. It was the first time she had seen Chen Mo with such an unruly expression. And why did he shoot the camera so high? Do I miss you? Cut, cheapskate. No 8-pack abs. Even if it is long, she will not be discouraged. Of course, these thoughts, Luo Bing just flashed by. She was still very serious when talking about business. No, I already have a complete plan based on the information you provided. You just need to feel at ease and develop yourself, and by the way, accumulate more material. You can go to me to sell the items. Chen Mo said. He is here to connect to the parent star, and the portal does not need money. This part of the cost is saved, that is, earned. Luo Bing goes to him to ship the goods, and he can also charge a little fee. Mosquito legs are also meat. He doesn't dislike it. After some exchange, Chen Mo hastily ended the conversation. After all, he's also busy communicating with the Mermaid Queen. Chen Mo is addicted to it and has been for a whole day. Looking out the window now, before you know it, the sun has set. I have to sigh, beauty township, gentle home. Sitting on more than a dozen planets, and the master of the star soul. Chen Mo has many choices. But this time, it was a bit sudden. It was a rather unexpected attempt. I have to say that the queen who brings together a beautiful body and a body is indeed very good. Just like that, Mars goes straight. In this case, Chen Mo is welcome. So many beautiful subordinates are not just for use. How to use it depends on his mind. In this regard, there is no need to be overly concerned. After all, the masters of their star souls, what they pursue is to be a superior person, to occupy a planet with one. Occupying the queen today can be considered a successful breakthrough. It's a reward for your hard work. Master. The queen looked at Chen Mo with eyes like silk. By now, still calling the master, but this soft call contained more meanings. In addition to awe and worship, there is also this deep affection. In short, get up, master, our army has already started fighting, and I believe the final result will be obtained within 2 days. Our strategy is to fight the planets one by one, step by step, to stimulate the Temple of Heaven. By the way, this can also drive out the rest of the newcomers. When the Temple of Heaven is strong enough, we will storm the floating city. In addition, in the tiberium mining area, that group of monsters did not appear. We successfully harvested 20 pieces of tiberium ore, of which the blue ore was. The two sisters Aaron reported their work. Their mothers were busy, so they also took over some things, but fortunately they were all simple things. With the cooperation of the secretary and the biological mastermind, it is very simple to deal with. After all, this is the master's world. It is very different from the previous Murloc world. Any order will be absolutely executed, and any information obtained by oneself is absolutely true and reliable. Bullying, cheating, trolling, and the like will never happen. So everything becomes very simple. The only caveat is that the command must be correct. Hey, wrong. Chen Mo nodded with satisfaction. He had no doubts that even if he continued to lead the queen back to the house, he would not be there for the entire battle. There will be no problem either. His command and management building have begun to bear fruit. This is the result of his own exploration. Like his civilization construction model, the Star Soul world has never existed. Completely different from the rest. Although everything has to be explored by himself, it is precisely because of this particularity that Chen Mo is very at ease and comfortable when he is the boss. Till now, Chen Mo already owns more than 1,000 Leviathan. The number of parasite legions exceeds 70 billion. Among them, those with rank 5 or higher combat power are as high as 40 billion. It has also cultivated a group of skilled tyrants with very fast construction speed. So many legions, just squeezed together, the total weight is as big as an asteroid. This huge mass, by virtue of gravity alone, can set off a natural disaster that affects the entire planet of life. Scourge Legion, worthy of the name. Wherever you go, in addition to joining the glorious evolution, there is only one way to become nourishment. It can be said that this is a very terrifying force. Current stage, whether it is quantity or quality, it is out of absolute overwhelming advantage. Not to mention tactical tactics and genetic suppression. Counting these two, the heavenly god temple will not dispatch the true gods. Otherwise there is no chance. This is also the reason why Chenmo was just in the 38th theater, and he was pressing against the temple of heaven step by step. 0. Not only the rest of the newcomers, the temple of heaven, but also the cows he raised. These guys are like a flooded sea, squeeze, and they can always squeeze out some good. Currently, I am on my 21st day as Lord of the planet. In 2 more days at most, I will accumulate enough resources to reach the star soul powerhouse. Looking at the stars shining in the sky, Chenmo's heart ignited a flame. Here, it can be even stronger. He will have an unmatched army that will sweep across the universe. Of course, certainly not yet. At the moment his opponents are the snake people and the temple of heaven. Defeat the opponent, absorb the resources of the heavenly god temple, and believe that you will be able to become a star god. As for the other newcomers, Chenmo also knows what they think. Some of them may feel that they can compete with him in terms of contribution value. After all, Chenmo has consumed a lot of resources by himself and has not sold them. The natural contribution value will not increase on a large scale. However, in the capture of War Zone 38, the situation will be completely different. Sitting on 2 war zones, even if the rest of the newcomers sell planets, they won't earn as much by selling resources. If Chenmo didn't make a mistake in his estimation, at this moment, a new person was already planning to sell the planet. But it's a pity, I'm in a hurry to get resources here, otherwise I can let them sell happily first. Chenmo couldn't help laughing. At present, Chenmo alone occupies more resources than all the newcomers combined. And in terms of civilization level, star soul level, and the number of strong people, he is also completely crushing the rest of the newcomers. The gap between the rest of the newcomers and him will only get bigger and bigger. And the more resources are available, the faster Chenmo develops. The rest of the newcomers couldn't catch up at all. In the follow-up, his legion became larger and larger, the legion expanded one by one, the astral world and the biological brain spread. His strength will only get stronger. Only then can he fully utilize his advantages. After analyzing the current situation, Chenmo opened the watch again. Check your own planet attributes. Large. Chapter 225 The Annihilating Star Floating City. Soft and deceiving. 3 more ask for subscription. At this point, Chenmo's progress has been quite obvious. After occupying a war zone and defeating the Temple of Heaven twice in a row, the Federation's overall evaluation of Chenmo has completely changed. Turn on the watch. Lord of the Planet. Chenmo Legend Peak. Star Soul Level. Dark Blue. Planet ID. 23,788. Civilization Level. Level 1.9. Civilization Tendency. Genes, Ancient Technology, Swarms. Planetary Contribution. 106 billion. Planet Ranking. Number 1 in Newcomer Zone, Number 1 in War Zone 33 Real Time. Planet Information. Low Energy Planet, Half Garden World, has a special connection with the Mother World. Important Facilities. Permanent Home Star Channel, Portal 2 Connection Points, Planetary Defense System, Biological Master Brain. Colony Planet. Mothership Fortress, Ocean Planet, Top Agricultural Planet, Tiberium Mining Area, Top Mining Planet, Number 12 Resource Planet. Special Resources. Fishery, Titanium Ore, Magic Crystal, Bell, 807, Ore, a lot of Tiberium Ore, Richer Manganese Ore, Hulk, Slave Miner. Enslaved Race. Mermaid retains the original race form. Existing resources. 15.1 billion in cash, 50 tons of magic crystals, 1.1 tons of tiberium ore, 100 energy blocks, 1 ton of manganese ore. Other information. No summary yet. With the growth of the Parasite Legion, the number of my exclusive races has spread over 18 planets. And my strength has also reached the pinnacle of legend. One step forward, it's a demigod. And my accumulation of resources has finally become a little rich. After spending 55 billion in cash to engage in dark sky, there are still tens of billions left. These cash, mainly from the tiberium mining area. The disguised channel is processed into energy blocks through Mu Yao. In addition to his own strength and resource accumulation, Chen Mo has another interesting discovery. The Federation actually treated his original parasitic body as a special resource. Hulk, slave miner. This thing was just a gimmick that Chen Mo came up with to make money, and now it is marketed in the entire newcomer area. It has become one of his obvious products and one of the characteristics of his civilization. This is something Chen Mo didn't expect. It can be said that the parasite army is really useful. Fighting, making money, mining, all kinds of professions, all proficient. Even if Chen Mo has grown up to now, the most basic Hulk is still a steady stream, giving him creator value. It has even become a business card of the sacred Terra civilization. It is also because the sales volume is so huge and the supply is stable, so the Federation simply marked this as a special resource for Chen Mo. In the entire Star Soul world, only he can rent out this strange slave miner. According to my current resource accumulation speed, once I occupy the 38th theater, I will immediately have enough resources for evolution. There's even room to save the next portion of cash. In this case, we should focus on seeking evolutionary opportunities. The Temple of Heaven must be stronger. By the way, there is also the tiberium mining area, and some ore must be left on it to strengthen the attraction. Think carefully. What kind of masters are there now in the Temple of Heaven? Chen Mo looked at this Irene and asked. It's mainly Jinn people, and there seem to be some snake people. There seems to be a demigod-level powerhouse, but the other party is sitting in the floating city and has not gone out. Their floating city is very powerful, and its energy level is quite high. With a full blow, it can destroy a planet. Aaron returned immediately. This information, before she ordered the army to attack, had already figured out very clearly. It doesn't matter, the floating city has a limited range, put more gravity cores, interfere with the transmission, and don't let them get close to the life planet. Chen Mo ordered. This floating city is a bit interesting, and there are demigods in it. At least one chance to evolve. Send a few flying dragons over and try their defense. Ongoing, constantly, harassing them. The army will continue to sweep and purify all the natives related to the Temple of Heaven. Chen Mo ordered. His army had no morale problems. Sending people to die and harassing them can also be a very cheap and useful strategy. Try to PS off the opposite demigod. As long as the opponent makes a move, they will know whether there is an opportunity for evolution. Chen Mo can allocate resources in advance. Good host. Definitely complete the mission. The two Aaron sisters, their cheeks were flushed. Full of energy. This time, the two sisters participated in the battle of the big army and learned a lot. It is also proof of the owner's trust. The more things you do for the master, the more you can prove your status in the master's mind. Like their mothers, he has made outstanding contributions and won the favor of the owner. Was rewarded before, although suspicion is a misunderstanding. The queen herself praised herself. But this time, it was indeed confirmed. The two sisters looked at the radiant queen. More and more certain in my heart. Cannot help but envy. So, after the business is done. The two women were not in a hurry to leave. Mother, seems to be in a good mood. Ellie is straight. Can't help it, knock it sideways. Although all the mermaids, this thing has spread. After all, the level of hoarseness, I wish I could resound through the entire Terra. That said, it may be an exaggeration. But the whole manor still had no problem hearing it. Well, I got the gift of the master. Unlike Chen Mo, who was coughing dryly on the side. The queen did not shy away. Instead, he raised his chest and said proudly. This is not something that is difficult to tell. On the contrary, it is the master's approval for her. There is nothing that can't be said without going into specifics. She won't be embarrassed either. I believe her two daughters are only envious. Really. After she finished speaking, the two sisters Aileen laughed according to their mouths. Eyes twinkling, looking at Chen Mo. Mother, your voice seems a little hoarse, Aaron said with a smile. Naturally, I'm a little excited. But the master likes it. The queen is telling the truth. At the same time, she winked at the two sisters. Then, she looked at Chen Mo and said, Master, Irene's singing voice is the most famous in my clan, and it is melodious. Sweet voices. And her twin sister, Ellie, is graceful in dancing. 3.3. Soft and deceiving. As the mermaid queen, the pattern must be opened. What's more, it is her most important destiny twins. This wave, seeing that the master is in a good mood, she might as well let go. Hear the queen. Chen Mo couldn't help rolling his eyes. Good guy. It is not a loss to be the strongest under his command, the mermaid queen. This pattern is unusual. I had to teach myself yesterday. With a little development, you will be self-taught. Your ability to learn is really strong. Chen Mo couldn't help laughing. Master taught me well. But I remember telling the master that my ability to learn is very strong, and it's not just bragging. The queen smiled softly. Chen Mo, good guy. The blue is better than the blue. It belongs to yes. Chapter 226. Find a chance to come to my room. Concept level attack. One more. Listen to the conversation between Chen Mo and the queen. The sisters' eyes widened. Hey, what's the matter with you? It was obviously the two sisters who were going to run on it. Just to clarify a little bit. Increase the atmosphere of the two. Result. It feels like the action is completely redundant. The queen is not at all embarrassed not to say. He also looked like no one else was there. This is getting more and more outrageous. What? Still want to exchange technology in front of them? This is so boring and crooked that I can fish out more than 10 pounds of brown sugar. Therefore, instead, the two sisters blushed. Can't stand still. Scalp tingling. I really want to turn around and leave. However, with Chen Mo in front of them, they could only stand obediently. Master, still watching. Master, don't listen to your mother's nonsense. Yes, she is complimenting us indiscriminately. In fact, Sister Irene's dance is also very good. Irene and Ellie, two sisters, hurriedly explained. He glared at the queen fiercely again. Damn it, is there such a face-to-face, molesting her too? Just kidding normally. On this occasion, it's too much. Of course, most importantly, flustered. They had no idea that the situation would develop like this. The queen's reaction was completely unexpected. And the master looked over again. The two sisters were too frightened to look up. They didn't dare to look at Chen Mo at all. But no matter what, he is also a powerhouse at the peak of the legend, and it is still very easy to control his emotions. Erin forced herself to calm down. I want to change the subject. But when he met Chen Mo's eyes, he opened his mouth unexpectedly, but he couldn't speak. Instead, in the eyes, unreservedly, exuding a longing look. Seems to be expecting something. 29. Irene knew exactly what she looked like at this time, but she couldn't help it. Just like that, for a time, she was so embarrassed that she wanted to find a crack to get in. But, when Erin turned to look at her sister, she suddenly calmed down. For no reason, the younger sister shared an expression with her. Whenever she couldn't distinguish her inner thoughts, Irene used to look at her sister. Doing so has many benefits. The two sisters are in the same mind, and their ideas are close. Even, the response to external stimuli is the same. My sister is like a mirror to her. Not exactly the same, but it can fully reflect itself. Desires for the owner's attention. This is my true inner thought. To understand this, Erin felt calm in her heart. Since this is your true opinion, face it bravely. Although she is only a girl, she also has the courage to face herself. Master, Erin said, it is more than words. Find a chance to come to my room. I'll be my woman from now on. Chen Mo looked at Weiji's face and said directly. The same as you. He looked at Ellie again. When Ellie saw that the master didn't look at her, she slammed, and tears were about to fall. But, say this to the master. Well, I couldn't help it right away. With his mouth closed, he nods his head twice. Crystal clear tears rolled out. Too excited. Cough cough. That master, should we expand our manor? After all, the layout has become larger. The queen pointed to her mouth in general and laughed. But her question is really no joke. The estate is currently facing this problem. After all, Chen Mo didn't take into account the problem of his family. Don't worry, I will have a breakthrough when War Zone 38 is attacked. When the time comes, a stronger power might bring a stronger transformation to Terra. You too will become stronger. The wind of change is coming, and it will be modified according to the situation. After that, this place will become the real, sacred Terra, a civilization completely different from the past. Under my command, it will rise rapidly. Chen Mo plans to. Although changing the estate doesn't cost much. But as the Queen's realm improves, the ocean transformation will naturally continue to follow up. Planet energy level up. When the garden world level is reached, the one-time transformation is completed, which is more trouble-free. Holy Terra, will also have a place on the planet leaderboard. Until then, he is also a strong star soul, and his civilization level has also entered a 2.0 level civilization. The Federation will open him up to more knowledge. The three girls' eyes lit up when they heard it. The queen looked at Chen Mo with admiration and said, Master, then we will have a territory composed of 18 life planets. Not only that, but also the ever-expanding star realm. Well, at that time this is my independent kingdom, and the star soul world will not be involved. In the next fight, I will also choose the direction myself, and it will be a lot more free. Chen Mo nodded. Owning an exclusive civilization and industry is the proof of the strong and the superior. It is equivalent to obtaining the resource allocation power of part of the star soul world. Of course, this power continues to rise, and that is the concern of the laws of the world. The more attention, the greater the power. Until he becomes a member, he has the power to influence the resource distribution of the entire star soul world. From talents, resources, to knowledge, everything controlled by the star soul world needs to be influenced by the counselors. And all of this is based on your contribution to the star soul world. The more you contribute, the more rewards in the star soul world, and the stronger you are. The stronger you are, the more you can make a contribution. Is a positive incentive. The main enemy at present is the Temple of Heaven. Of course, any planet that does not belong to the star soul world, as long as it is occupied, it is a contribution and will be transformed into my strength. Chen Mo briefly told a few people about his goals. At the moment, it's to get the newcomer first. Get federal attention, then get rewarded. Secondly, it is to destroy the Temple of Heaven and strive for the attention of the laws of the world. Both concerns can bring a steady stream of benefits. Of course, the light robbery will definitely not last long, and you should pay close attention to farming your own fields. In a word, it is farming and war. He wants it all. Then, we have to protect the tiberium mining area. Maybe one day, red tiberium ore will be born. Said the queen. This is the most important ongoing income right now. There are tiberium ore near the account every day, unlike the ocean planet, which is gone after digging. And the enemies faced by the tiberium mining area are not ordinary indigenous people. And it may be a god-level cosmic life. For such an enemy, even if it is the Temple of Heaven, it is necessary to deal with it carefully. For ordinary natives, provoking a god and the demise of civilization are only one step away. This is a very scary thing. Especially the gods who grew up in the universe. They are more powerful and ferocious. It is often towards the path of the heretic god, and being targeted by such a cosmos-level predator, to be honest, even if she is now in Terra, she is sometimes a little worried. Such a powerful existence has gathered so many pendants. What measures will be taken? She does not know. Can't guess either. After all, the level gap is too big. Of course, this kind of worry only exists in the queen's heart. People are still very optimistic. She didn't want to pass on this concern to anyone. Try to win. Try to share the master's worries. This is what she should do. Chen Mo naturally saw her thoughts and said with a smile. There is no need to fear any battle. You just need to know one thing. Fight means opportunity. Every battle is an opportunity to become stronger, an opportunity to evolve, and it is contained in it. To be honest, I wish that from now on, the beings in the universe can attack non-stop for the last year and a half. Chen Mo said this and joked. If I can get in touch with that old mother dragon, I might give the other party the money to buy her to gather her younger brother to attack. Battle evolution. This is not just talk. The more genes you touch, the stronger Chen Mo is. If he could really buy the chance to evolve with money, Chen Mo would not hesitate at all. What Chen Mo is really afraid of is the attack at the concept and law level. It's the method of directly defining the enemy, and then obliterating the entire universe. Similar to the spread of infection by the consciousness of the evil god, knowing knowledge is perceived by the other party, and so on. This terrible attack, no matter where he hides, will be rooted out. Of course, the star soul world is very powerful. Chen Mo, as a top genius, has a certificate of conquest and a hood on his head. This level of attack, don't worry about falling on his head. If an attack is really coming, it means that the entire star soul world is almost over. Queen. Well, I understand, even if the other party is a god, as long as we don't destroy us all at once, our consciousness is located in the astral world and will last forever. There is no need to be afraid. So now we have an advantage over the Temple of Heaven. As long as the beings in the universe dare to come, it will be the same fate. It will be gradually crushed by us. Good. Chen Mo nodded. He is such a rogue tactic. Attacks that are much more powerful than him cannot fall on his head. Instead of that kind of conceptual attack, the effect is basically small. His parasite legion. The cost is very low. In him, people are cheaper than dogs. And the conscious body, the other party can't kill it. The whole process of wretched background remote control command. Chen Mo can fail countless times, but 810 his opponent can't fail once. Even if it's just a small injury. Mistake. Perhaps Chen Mo sees the opportunity to obtain genes. And once the gene is in hand, suppressed and formed, the situation is irreversible. Then we have to deal with the Temple of Heaven as soon as possible. When we defeat the 38th theater, the Master's strength will leap forward. By then, the life of the universe will think that it is fully prepared, but we have changed our strength. Thinking of this, the Queen should not turn her mouth slightly. This kind of feeling of shocking the gods within a few days is really great. It turned out that the Master's strength is so powerful, and there is room to deal flexibly in the face of the gods. If you think about it this way, that god-level lizard dragon, isn't he playing the oil-filling tactics? Chat with the Queen for a while. Chen Mo opens the newcomer area. At this time, it is already boiling inside. Word has spread of his expedition to War Zone 38. But to Chen Mo's surprise, in this case, many people still think that Chen Mo can't win. Just bluffing. The newcomers of the Total Point 38 theater, don't run away. Take a closer look. Chen Mo came to understand, and their basis was that the portal was too small to transmit large units. On Chen Mo's side, the powerful combat units are all huge in size. What passed was just some greenskins and little dragons. Can't make the climate. Seeing this, Chen Mo couldn't help but smile. No wonder these people are so optimistic. After all, part of what they say is true. But unfortunately, they don't know that Chen Mo's legion, flesh and consciousness, is separate. It can't be regarded as a normal army at all. He can completely cut the giant Leviathan. Piece of meat, shipped here to assemble, to deliver so many resources. Isn't it just for fast growth? Not only that, by occupying the surrounding life planet first, he will gather more indigenous consciousness, and his strength will increase rapidly. At this time, his first batch of troops has also grown to about the same size. Look around. Chen Mo looked towards the back of a dim asteroid. Thorn pull. With a soft sound, the slime splashes. A giant flying dragon drilled out. A true mighty army. Incubation has been completed. Next. Just play big. Chapter 227 The Useless Fight in the Floating City. Planetary Shield. 2 more. 38th War Zone. The stronghold of the Temple of Heaven is not on a certain planet. It is a man-made floating city. Of course, on the side of the gods, this is not called the 38th Theater. Instead, it's called Sector 12. Their world is divided from the inside out. The central star field is the first ring star field. But it doesn't matter what it's called at this point. This is about to become the history of the Temple of Heaven. A large black worm tide is rising, almost covering the entire floating city. The shield in the sky shone dazzlingly. The giant main gun continued to roar until the entire overload was scrapped. There is a limit to the power of machinery. In the face of endless monsters, the originally indestructible floating city. Shaky at the moment, but even the most pessimistic golden man firmly believes that floating city is not so easy to fail. After all, there are demigods sitting here. Moreover, this is the masterpiece of the entire Temple of Heaven. A real weapon of war. A floating city, the cost alone exceeds the value of more than a dozen planets. Although this one is only a low-level floating city, its area of more than 500,000 square kilometers makes it look extremely huge. An entire floating city built on magical devices constructed from various precious alloys and runes. The entire city is not only used to live, but can also launch a fatal blow from the universe, enough to destroy the stars. Now, such a blow is brewing. With the protection of the energy shield, the floating city easily accumulates power. In an instant, a bright light lit up. This is a blow that surpasses the full force of the demigods. If it is only about the energy level, it has even reached the level of the gods. It is the greatest power of the floating city. Destroyer star main gun. Next moment, in the distance, there were countless parasite legions of asteroids, which were directly pierced through a large hole of 100 kilometers. The parasites on the entire asteroid evaporate in situ. A soft sound. Asteroids that were originally covered with creep. There is a big hole in the middle, and the rest of it is shiny. The terrifying pressure and high temperature make the parts without evaporation directly vitrify. The battle has come to the most intense part. Chen Mo's parasite army uses asteroids as shields to consume the main guns of the floating city. At this time, recently, the flying dragon has rushed into the shield. However, it was shot down by the elites of the Temple of Heaven, who were waiting for it. This battle, naturally, it is being watched by all the people in the newcomer area. The newcomers of the 38th Theater, not to mention. Everyone stared at the chat area. There are newcomers near the front line, and battle reports come from time to time. Seeing that the floating city was finally forced to use the main gun. The terrifying power shocked everyone. Hey, this power is really terrifying. Stop. Chen Mo's legion is unlikely to be able to push the asteroid forward any longer. This blow killed at least tens of millions of parasites. I thought I could see an asteroid hitting the floating city. It's terrifying. Every minute and every second of this battle, at least hundreds of thousands of monsters die, right? According to this calculation, it will take me up to 1 second to go up. 0.5 seconds. Be better, you can top for 2 seconds. You are all scumbags, I can hold on for 3 seconds. 5 seconds is a real man. If you don't have it, you will climb it. You have no right to speak here. Mr. Chen Mo is awesome. No matter how awesome you are, you can't stand to consume like this. Then, 9 times, almost this army of hundreds of millions will be exhausted. The weakness of this legion is also very obvious. It has been close to the past several times, but because of its insufficient strength, it has been pushed back. The portal is too small, and Chen Mo's really powerful army can't get through. These look like pure cannon fodder. Pure cannon fodder can also win, just spend more time. I see how long the floating city can support without external resources. The most explosive offensive and defensive battle seems to have come to an end, and the parasite army is regrouping. As a result, people began to discuss the war situation. Of course, what they don't know is that this is really just an appetizer that Chen Mo consumes. At this time, his real army is gathering. Inside the floating city, inside a tower in the middle. Many experts from the Temple of Heaven gathered in the conference hall on the top of the tower. This is the core of the floating city, the control tower. The demigod Golden Man let out a golden armor, and the big sword in his hand exuded a dazzling light. In front of the metal seat on which he sat, Chi-Chi stood 2 rows of Golden Man masters. Each is a legend above. Among them, the few wearing golden armor or even legendary peaks. The toughest battle is over, the demigod said. But don't give up. We detected that this shameless slave owner was carrying more asteroids from afar. The light tone made the atmosphere of the entire council room relax. My lord, under your protection, our main guns can shoot easily. How many asteroids come from the other side is useless. What's more, there are only 3 nearby asteroids in the entire star region. Withstand another wave of offensive, do we start to counterattack? Always defending, I'm already feeling embarrassed. There is a legend of belligerence, showing a hideous smile directly. This battle was really terrifying. But unfortunately, it has little to do with them. Because the enemy is too shameless, either by self-exploding harassment, or pushing the asteroid to collide. In short, hunched in the floating city, very aggrieved. Many people are eager for a frontal and tough battle. Presumptuous. Don't be careless. Have you forgotten the battle on the snake people's side? Do you want to repeat the same mistakes? If you lose the floating city, you can just wait here to die. The originally peaceful demigod suddenly scolds. The terrifying coercion made everyone breathless. Especially the person who took the lead in talking about the attack at the beginning shivered and fell to the ground. The other party has a strange ability to control magical creations. Although everyone does not believe that it is possible to do this with only flesh and blood, there must be a secret. But there is nothing wrong with the fiasco of the snake people. Let's be safe. Sister Oran has lost face, and I'm not as incompetent as she is. The gods will know that our Jinn people are always the most reliable and elite warriors in the Temple of Heaven. Snake people are just a bunch of clowns who rely on talent. Without Tiberium, they can't do anything. Quote, so you all take 200% caution. In this battle, floating void city must not be lost. Just follow my method and it's guaranteed to be impregnable. This slave owner, just relying on these stinky fish and rotten shrimp, also wants to break us, just wishful thinking. I will find opportunities to attack alone and take the heads of the other core personnel. The voice of the demigod powerhouse was sonorous, and all the golden warriors took orders. Fighting till now, the golden demigod powerhouse is actually even more aggrieved in his heart. He is a dignified demigod, below all gods and above all living beings. Actually forced to nest in the city to defend. Very useless. Anger. But in order to guard against the pervasive penetration of the other party, he had to delay like this. Fortunately, after a round of extremely fierce battles, he believes that the opponent has no cards to play. I was bombarded by myself and killed thousands of monster slaves. Chapter 228. After the pad. Don't even think about leaving. Riding the face and outputting demigods. 3 more. These guys are quite conservative. Chen Mo looked at the situation on the battlefield and was a little surprised for a while. Because as usual, Jin people like to be straight. There has never been a time of persistence. He also thought that he could invade the floating city early with infection. Obtain a relatively complete giant magical creation. This is definitely much more valuable than a starship. As a result, after working for a long time, I haven't played against each other's demigods. This kept him from getting evolutionary hints. Alas, there is no way to prepare evolution resources in advance. But that's fine. It's the first time the demigods are fighting each other. Maybe they want to eat the greenskins from my side. Chen Mo said with certainty. At the same time, the back of his hand shone slightly. Star Soul works. At this time, the green-skinned me thinking force field has become stronger and stronger. In fact, what Chen Mo didn't know was that he suffered a big loss from the snake people last time. Therefore, the nearby Tianshan temple knew his name. Seeing this overwhelming army, for the first time, I thought of that weird slave owner. Therefore, it sounds conservative, because the failure of the snake human race was too strange, and it was disgraced. And in order not to appear too incompetent, Oran, the queen of snake people, blows Chen Mo when she sees anyone. The army of Chen Mo was spread very strangely. Before reaching the Star Soul powerhouse, Chen Mo already has a certain 810 fame in the Temple of Heaven. But sticking to the floating city is useless. Chen Mo didn't expect a trick to be used twice. The fight continues. Soon, the true army arrives on the battlefield. The situation suddenly changed. Hundreds of leviathans, overwhelming dragons. Completely different from the previous scene. Sir, this kind of monster must not be allowed to approach, we must attack directly. A golden man looked at the overwhelming army of monsters in the distance. The voices are hoarse. Even these warriors who have experienced hundreds of battles, their fighting spirit is extremely determined, and at this moment, they can't help but retreat in their hearts. However, the floating city is already the last line of defense. They absolutely cannot fail. Can't wait any longer. Mere monsters, watch me kill them. Kill. Many golden warriors drew their weapons one after another. For a time, murderous aura shot into the sky. A frontal attack. The corners of the demigod's mouth twitched. At this moment, as one who sees the whole situation. Clearly, the situation is taking a turn for the worse. The enemy still has such a terrible backhand. In such a situation, how to attack head-on? CJDD was only superior in numbers before, and almost lost. Now, the enemy has crushed them both in quantity and quality. Defeat. If he strikes, he can indeed repel the enemy temporarily. But once he leaves the floating city, with the number of these enemies, floating void city is a piece of fat, and it is gone in an instant. His subordinates are too few. And he doesn't come. That didn't help. The enemy will surely come up. At this time, there are enemies in all directions. A powerful main gun, even if its power is amazing, can only attack one place. If the other party has a demigod, he finds a way to lock on the opponent, and he can kill him instantly through the main gun. But now it is. The other party is very cunning. The strongest is the legend. There are a lot of them. He simply couldn't pick a suitable target to attack. But, the time has come to make a choice. The overwhelming army is extremely fast. Open the space rift, I will cover you and prepare to retreat. As much as you can go. What? People are stupid. It hasn't hit yet. The soldiers lost little. Less than 10%. Such war damage. They are totally bearable. But the glory of the gods. Shut up. The demigod golden man rudely interrupted. He scoffed. Just reach out and grab it. The main artillery of the entire floating city suddenly went out. Energy has been transferred here. With a squeak. A crack opened slowly. All, go. The demigod golden man rebuked. At this time, he didn't even care about his face. After returning, I will definitely lose face in front of the snake people. After all, He fled without a fight, and the defeat was even worse. How about you, sir? Many golden people hesitated. We swear to follow the Lord to the death. There are people in gold who are extremely determined. Hurry up and get in. There are several beacons in the lousy ring, and then you can tear the space and locate it yourself. I don't guard this rift, and none of you can escape. Don't worry, with my strength, I want to go, no one can stop me. The demigod golden man said confidently. Saying so, he directly pressed the manipulation crystal again. In an instant, the entire floating city flashed red. The floating city cannot fall into the opponent's hands. It will explode in 10 minutes, he said calmly. As for most ordinary golden warriors, he can only say sorry. This is a necessary process in order to prevent this huge creation from falling into the hands of the enemy. And he will see it all with my own eyes. And 10 minutes was enough for all his elite subordinates to pass through the fissure channel. Not only that, close the cover, let him resist the attack alone. It can also expand the channel to the limit. Tens of thousands of people escaped. Not a problem either. Thinking so, the demigods did just that. Then, he knew, what is Tota? After he made it, he didn't make it. Immediately gone. The parasite army swarmed up, bombarded wildly. It hurts the demigods. No, impossible. What's the matter? My defense is given by these ants. The demigod golden man's face changed wildly. However, at this time, it is impossible for him to restart the defense of the floating city. The energy is concentrated on the crack. A chanting crack. Produce. Boom, boom, boom. The terrifying Leviathan also slammed into it. Rush. Definitely. Break me. At this time, the warlord Mao Jie, who had reached a height of 20 meters, appeared again. He jumped high from the Leviathan's head. Coincidentally, it couldn't be more coincidental that the warlord Mao Jie was extremely outrageous. From the twisted crack of the shield, he fell into the interior of the floating city. Huge, alloyed boots fell from the sky. He stepped on the stunned face of the demigod powerhouse fiercely. No ah, alas. With a scream, the entire shield supported by the demigod exploded. Incredible battle progress. Seeing Chen Mo's face is stunned. Haven't this group of people been blessed by the goddess of luck? Chapter 229 The opportunity for evolution is coming. The eager mermaid. One more. More than just being caught off guard. Faced with this situation, the side of the Tianshan temple collapsed collectively. No one thought of it. The defense held up by the demigod actually collapsed at a touch. It can't be said that it will collapse at a touch. Just let an enemy come in. But under a series of coincidences, the power of this one enemy. It's like a nuclear bomb. In an instant, a chain reaction started, and the entire protective shield shattered. This is not the most fatal. Even worse, losing the protection of the demigods, the space rift began to have problems. No, spatial rift. Come in. Looking at the crazily shaking space rift. Someone was in a hurry and rushed over directly. Just at this moment, the crack swishes and closes directly. Then only half of the body remained in place. The powerful vitality of the legendary powerhouse even made this half still move and twitch. No, the demigod powerhouse slapped away the entangled green skin, trying to save the crack. However, the aftermath of the echoes in the space has long since subsided. He felt that there was a powerful source of interference in the body of the huge monster that attacked. If you have the ability, just tell me to break through. Follow me, the demigod powerhouse shouted. The powerful roar even shattered the flying dragon that Zhengming rushed towards him, and the flesh and blood flew away, leaving only a pair of skeletons on the ground. Rush. A dozen or so legends with relatively recent legends gathered in a hurry. This time, the demigod powerhouse does not need to worry about the space fissure, nor does he need to worry about the floating city, and sends out all the power. Soon, under his protection, a group of people rushed in through Leviathan's mouth, and the tail rushed out directly. Constant hissing. The terrifying corrosion made the armor of the demigod powerhouse smoke, but he didn't care. Small injury. This time, he is finally out. Hateful, cosmic slave master, I remember you. See you next time, when I'm promoted to a god. Then, the demigod powerhouse gritted his teeth, and blood and tears almost came out of his eyes. His men were almost wiped out. Only these few fast ones followed in front of them. He swore that he would never appear if he did not reach the gods. Once he became a god, he had already remembered the breath of these monsters. Even if it reaches the end of the universe, Even if this group of bastards ran to the low-dimensional world, he would follow and defeat him completely. Never die. We swear to follow the adults to the death and take revenge together. Kill him upside down. The glory of the gods cannot be defiled. This swarm of locusts only knows how many people they rely on. What kind of skill is there? It's a one-on-one challenge. It's a shame that I don't have enough strength. Aren't they coming after us? Humph. I know they can't catch up with us. Several legends of the heavenly temple are also burning with anger. Look at the biggest explosion in this sector. Then, let's live together with everyone's wishes. The demigod said coldly. Then, repay this blood debt double. Ah. This is. What's going on? It's not over yet. The demigod was completely shocked and was speechless, staring blankly at the direction of the floating city. Sir, let's go a little further. When the floating city explodes, the power is extremely terrifying. We are not far enough here. A legend of the Temple of Heaven suggested it, mainly because of bad luck. He thinks it is best to be cautious. No need. Not far. The demigod looked desperate. In the distance, the floating city is not in a hurry, it is turning its direction. The huge main gun exudes a breathtaking light. This blow. Enough to penetrate the stars. And with their speed, they can't run out of shooting range. Especially the demigods. At this point, he himself knew it very well, so he simply didn't run away. Can die, but it's better to face the enemy head on. He didn't want to die too ugly. And without his protection, the rest of the legendary powerhouses could not escape. Every step of the other party seems to be well prepared, not in a hurry. Thinking of this, looking at the dazzling muzzle made him even more desperate. The elites of the Temple of Heaven who were present were all stunned. Everyone's boiling hatred is also covered in the face, like being poured into a basin of ice water. A shiver. The legend I just proposed was about to cry. Really, their luck is outrageous. In such a short time. He did not understand how the other party manipulated their great creation. This is a powerful magical creation comparable to an artifact. It is the most central area, the masterpiece of the God of Wisdom. Among them, the most core energy source is said to be modeled after the unique artifact A Nisar core. Just to make the floating city run, the Tianshan Temple core needs at least 10,000 people. How did you get here? In less than a few minutes, they were manipulated by the enemy and even aimed their main guns at them. Now, even if they need to recharge, they can't run away. Really, cannons beat mosquitoes. Even if it is only a little bit, except for the demigods, they will all be dead. Not only the Temple of Heaven. At this moment, the newcomer area is also silent at this moment. In fact, after the warlord Mao broke through the shield, the entire newcomer area was in a state of sluggishness. Can you still play like this? They couldn't keep up with Chen Mo's operation at all. Look dumbfounded, knowing that Chen Mo will win, but still shocked. There are ways to win that many people can't even understand at all. Tour. I just drank water, and when I looked down at the live broadcast, the shield was broken. IDAS okay if IDAS broken, I quickly flipped through the replay. However, when I turned around again, the people from the Temple of Heaven had already run away. IDAS okay to run away. I hurriedly read the comments. However, when I turned around again, why did you tell me I have the final say on this main gun? I can't read it, but I'm shocked. I get it, but I can't believe it. Was this planned? Compared with the big boss Chen Mo, I am a country fight here. You're okay. I look like a kindergarten fight, so I'm still the one who can't win. I don't understand. How did the big army of Chen Mo pass through the portal? How else can I pass, and spend money to go through the Federal Passage? Upstairs, Shabi, a giant monster is 20 kilometers long and has a starting ratio of tens of millions of tons. If you go through the Federal Passage, you will go bankrupt in minutes. I'm so scared. Chen Mo won't come to our war zone, right? As soon as these words came out, the whole newcomer area panicked. 38 War Zone. At this time, with the parasitic infection of the floating city, the entire battle came to an end. This was much faster than Chen Mo expected, mainly thanks to the many creations of the Temple of Heaven that he had obtained before, including starships whose technology is not inferior to the floating city. Through the accumulated experience of these creations, it is not difficult to partially control the floating city. Wherever the creep spreads, everything is infected. Using nerves to directly manipulate magical creations, this is Chen Mo's exclusive race, a unique ability. Most of the golden people have been transformed into members of the parasite army. Of course, there are also powerhouses above the legend who can resist. These people, Chen Mo will not keep. Like the demigod Golden Man, join the devouring evolution spree. Soon, on the corpse of the demigod Golden Man, there will be an opportunity for evolution. After 7 minutes, along with cutting off the giant energy source of the floating city, imitation, Nisur core. The self-destruction of the entire floating city was also terminated. The battle is over, with the incorporation of hundreds of thousands of consciousnesses into the divine will. Chen Mo's astral world has grown by a point again. Point 0. His power is also stronger. It's approaching the critical value. At the same time, the harvest of the golden people this time also allowed Chen Mo to suppress their genes to the limit. 2000%. See you next time. Except for the golden gods, any other golden people will be completely genetically suppressed by Chen Mo. I'm getting stronger. Finally stopped this big guy from blowing himself up. A big tech tyrant let out a sigh of relief. They were ordered to quell the runaway core of Nisur. This thing is too scary, but fortunately at the last minute, they succeeded. And for this, he won the support of everyone, and began to grow toward the technological hegemony. Another area under the brilliance of the divine will. Join glorious evolution. Our chance has come. Many mermaids were excited and even cheered. This means that a new planetary governor will be born. Of course, it's not the most exciting. What everyone desires most is the opportunity to be called master. Imagine prostrate at the feet of the divine will, like the tactful and pitiful voice heard all day long. Shout out to the master. Until the sound is hoarse. Just thinking about it, the many elite mermaids became short of breath. Very excited. Holy Terra. Chen Mo looked at the prompt given by the system and smiled. Here comes the chance to evolve. With a thought, the charred corpse of the demigod Golden Man was swallowed by Leviathan. Along with being swallowed, there are also a large amount of tiburium ore, manganese ore and evolution potion. At the same time, Chen Mo's watch also vibrated slightly. Federal notice is here. Ding. Congratulations on completing an amazing battle. The result is perfect. You almost killed all the enemies. You have practiced the purification method of the Star Soul world again. You have received special attention from the Federation. I wish you an immortal soul. Note. You have won a decisive victory in War Zone 38. But the Temple of Heaven will not give up. They may plan to regain control of this area. Note 2. The Federation will conduct a phased evaluation of your combat achievements, which can be converted into rewards. Please pay attention to the notice. Chapter 230 Full Harvest. Artificial Solar Furnace. Next step. The Queen of Snake People. 2 more. Chen Mo noticed that this time he got some attention. And not like last time, it's a general concern. It may be because of capturing the enemy's floating city and killing the demigods. Of course, the number of resources and planets in the entire 38 theaters is more than twice that of the 33 theaters. This could also be a reason. In short, this time, the reward from the Federation alone is worth looking forward to. As for reminders such as Tianshan Temple's counterattack, Chen Mo didn't care at all. Counterattack is counterattack. He has not invested anything in this area at present, and he has already obtained his record. The arrival of the Temple of Heaven is nothing more than fueling tactics. There is no point in giving him money. The only thing I didn't expect is that with the strengthening of the collective will, my idealism seems to be stronger, and the performance of the greenskins is even more amazing. It's almost like a broken bamboo, and all kinds of instant kills have occupied the entire floating city. The demigod Golden Man closed the shield and activated the floating city to self-destruct, which really gave me a great gift. This speed, even Chen Mo himself was surprised. It can only be said that at this time, his combat power has completely surpassed the August 13th opponent. The single combat power of the Temple of Heaven is strong, but the contrast in numbers is too great. What's more, his parasitic body army is no longer the way it used to be. Once the magic crystal cannon is fired, it will be like paper, and hundreds of thousands of people will die. At this time, the average level of his legion came to level 6. It is also possible to evolve further and create a legendary parasite army of all members. Master, I have recently sorted out the knowledge of Source, and I have some experience, just on a new planet, to test the brand new ocean transformation technology. Queen Ash said with a smile. She was also surprised that this time the battle went smoothly beyond imagination. Silky smooth, the master has a lot of planets under his command. Of course, Chen Mo nodded happily. It's really a good thing. There are about 20 candidates for Governor General. Of course, of these people, only 9 to 10 people will eventually be able to take office. The remaining 10 people, as reserve governors, will be trained first. At least 9 farming planets this time. There is also a huge floating city. And a demigod body. Hear this. The queen jumped her eyes excitedly. She secretly remembered. It seems that the master attaches great importance to conquering the strong. Chen Mo. It's natural. The stronger the individual, the more it will bring me benefits. Of course, the weak can also gather their will, which is very useful. In Chen Mo, any part of the enemy is available. Nearly 100% recycled resources. If only there was an environmental award in the universe. Chen Mo felt that he had to be rated in the top 3 because of his civilization. Will be rewarded. The more you challenge the strong, the stronger you become. Incredible power. Maybe the gods don't have this ability. The queen listened with admiration on her face, and could barely close her legs. As a demigod, she is a special resonance body that can continuously acquire knowledge from ancient gods who have died. Logically speaking, it is already well informed. But Chen Mo's operation, she really doesn't understand at all. This is another set of power system. From the beginning, it is completely different from her cultivation path. It's another way of understanding the world. After listening to the queen, Chen Mo smiled and nodded. Not to mention the gods, that is, the diversity of the star soul world is extremely high, and there are at least 100 worlds that achieve the path of a powerful star god, and there is no one like him. Strictly speaking, there is no weak under his command. Because they are all under one system. Even a mermaid. It will be estimated that it is not just about being able to raise fish. With the collection and evolution of genes, the potential is unlimited. The queen looked at Chen Mo and said, "Are we going to attack the snake people's territory next? I'll hurry up and see if I can run into her again, and I can try to talk. Well, gather the legion on the fortress, and after I advance, I will have the opportunity to obtain the knowledge of Jiui. At that time, we will directly attack the home planet of the snake people." Chen Mo said. He is extremely fast. At this time, even if the queen of snake people has already started to prepare for the ceremony, it is too late. Of course, it is absolutely impossible for the other party to predict that his strength has expanded so rapidly. Without more than 90% certainty, the queen of snake people will never take the risk of ascending to the gods. She can't afford to lose. The snake people seem to be beautiful at present, but all the glory and expectations are all maintained by her alone. Once she becomes a god, she is likely to suffer a lot of pressure. Great divine will, the core of the enemy's floating city is too complicated for us to study clearly. Continuing to save may cause the device to become more unstable. At present, in order to channel the energy, we have done our best. We are consuming huge amounts of organic matter all the time. Stop channeling energy, send it to deep space, and let it explode. At this time, the voice of the technological overlord sounded. The other party asked Chen Mo to decide through the star realm. This device is much more perverted than the magic engine, and Chen Mo can't understand the way of reaction in it. But that doesn't stop him from doing miracles. Chen Mo's way to keep him from self-destruction is to use the phagocytosis ability of the creep. Crazy drains the rage ability inside. And this has already caused Chen Mo to burst hundreds of Leviathan. Of course, the exploding flesh and blood can still be recycled to form a larger creep. At this time, surrounding the core of Nisur, the huge creep that has grown for more than 100 kilometers. Chen Mo did everything he could to consume energy. But this energy is so much, it's almost like a little sun. Artificial solar furnace. Think for a moment. Chen Mo decided to keep this unstable factor. Invest some resources to maintain this Nisur core, maybe there is a chance of parasitic infection. This deal is worth it. If it was before, Chen Mo would definitely not be able to support this kind of consumption that may not see returns in the short term. But now, he is also part of a stable income industry. This investment will not affect his evolution. And no one can say whether they will get a second one. Even if parasitic infection is not possible. In the future, when the fortress can teleport. Directly teleport over, install this violent Nisur core. With fully energy-absorbing lizard dragon scales. At that time, it is not impossible to build a brand new super energy core. Maybe this is the core of the complete Nisur. The full power operation of the berserk is far stronger than before. And the consumption is not high, as long as the material is poured into it without realizing it. The more mass you put into it, the more terrifying the energy of Nisur's core. Just burn gold. Chen Mo couldn't help but plan. Gold, a super heavy metal, is just right as a fuel. Another hour passed. The battlefield is almost cleared. Large quantities of equipment were transported to Chen Mo through Luo Bing's main planet. In the floating city of Tianshan Temple, it was almost evacuated by Chen Mo. An entire floating city, and even an arsenal. The equipment inside is brand new and unopened. A whole warehouse of tiberium ore is stored stably. Surprisingly, there are quite a few trace minerals. This high-energy mineral is heavier than gold. The Temple of Heaven uses this mineral as fuel for the core of Nessir. No wonder it got out of control so violently. The time of this frenzy is probably more than 10 days longer than originally planned. But with these gains, fully offset the cost of stabilizing the Nessir core. Check it out carefully. Value. Enough. Sell these equipment and ore, and I will get 10 billion from 3.3 yards. Enough to support leap evolution while swallowing evolution. The initial estimate is about the same. If you add the income of the rest of the planets, there is extra wealth that can be used to build the fortress. Looking at the equipment and minerals that came in large quantities. The channel is almost blocked. This is a scene that hasn't been seen in a long time. As expected of a rich and oily Temple of Heaven. They're really extravagant when it comes to making weapons out of luxurious materials. Chen Mo exclaimed, so that he can sell these unused weapons and equipment as garbage, and he can sell them for a lot of money. Thinking of this, Chen Mo put all these things on the trading platform with a smile on his face. I think there are many newcomers, also waiting for his batch of cheap goods. Of course, among these spoils, the mining equipment looted from the newcomers in the 38th theater is naturally indispensable. And these, it was not too long ago that Chen Mo just sold them. Now, Chen Mo got it back and sold it again. Chapter 231 It's boiling. Mr. Chen Mo, please be sure to play with me. Dragon God. 3 more. Tens of thousands of complete equipment, hundreds of thousands of broken equipment. Instantly log into the trading platform. The label is again the trophy of the Temple of Heaven. For a time, the whole newcomer area is boiling. And the response is even greater, but many elderly people. There are even star soul powerhouses. Because they often retrieve loot on the Temple of Heaven. Chen Mo marked it like this. It immediately attracted their attention. Some of the veterans even recognized that these equipments were all serialized and organized. That is to say, Chen Mo captured a certain arsenal, and even some people speculated that it was a floating city. The news spread like wildfire through the newcomer area. For a time, many people have contacted Chen Mo. Equipment is second, behind the ability. Star Soul powerhouses are very interested. The most important thing is that this batch of equipment, Chen Mo did not shoot according to weapons, but recyclable resources. It's actually rubbish. But garbage is also graded. The recyclable garbage of the Tianshan Temple is a good thing in the Star Soul world nowadays. Plenty of materials and very little use of alloys. Various expensive materials are easily extracted individually. The cost of recycling such waste is very low. As long as there is a civilization that has the corresponding recycling and dismantling capabilities, they are happy to buy it. And there are not many people who can take out so much rubbish at one time. 29 Especially in the newcomer area. It is conceivable that a small rookie war zone, that kind of petty fights, to search for so many resources, how much does it take to scrape the ground? This newcomer is definitely a super ruthless character. Nowadays, reselling various resources is a sparse and common operation among newcomers. Basically looking at the Lord of Star Soul. But it's the only one that sells like Chen Mo. After all, the way of fighting today is really too ferocious. It's hard to keep a whole corpse. Not to mention saving gear. It is also rare to see such a large-scale sale of equipment for the Temple of Heaven on an old man. So many factors are added together. This shipment has sparked a lot of discussion. The news spread widely. For a time, many Star Soul lords who were in need rushed to buy them. I have no eyes. Did the temple directly surrender with both hands on this day? How much equipment can be seized? Gone. Crazy. A rookie war zone can capture so much loot. This is the resource of the entire war zone, all concentrated in one person's hands. Upstairs, is your brother just here? A war zone. You're a newcomer to ask who's dad. Chen Mo. That's right, I'm their wife, their father, their creditor, and the object of their envy. Another war zone's Temple of Heaven has failed completely. The strength of the Temple of Heaven in this war zone is not as strong as last time, but the explosive equipment is outrageous. I heard that there is also a floating city. Bullshit. Floating cities will self-destruct, and like a supernova explosion, they will scare people to death. Within tens of millions of kilometers around, the death light emitted is enough to kill the life of the surrounding planets. The floating city is a weapon of war in the temple of heaven. A war zone equipped with this kind of equipment will naturally have abundant arms reserves. Maybe there are still a lot of resources for this star zone to search for. NB Chen Mo boss. A wave of fat. It's numb, I guess. I'm from War Zone 38, and I played against the Temple of Heaven before. Their floating city has a star destroyer, and we dare not approach it at all. Not to mention the demigods. If it wasn't for the falling ice goddess to join us in an ambush, we would all be beaten up. In short, don't be careless. Tianshan Temple looks weak. That's just Chen Mo to this kind of boss. When it falls on our heads, it will be a big mountain. Chen Mo, the big boss, can conquer a war zone alone. More than that, I don't know if Chen Mo will go to other theaters and come back a few times. I really can't stand it. Alas, after the War Zone 33 was over, I also said that the big boss Chen Mo finally calmed down and couldn't make trouble. I didn't expect to wake up after a sleep, and this thing made such a big deal. Horden, the Temple of Heaven is being beaten by the big boss Chen Mo. This game is not difficult for him at all. Make wool. Yeah, now it seems that the contribution value and record, the first place in the double list, is a sure thing. I'm Sue. Ooh. Let me tell you this, the first place every year, at least the Requiem pedestal plus advanced knowledge is optional. Hey, advanced knowledge, oh my god, I've grown up so much, and I haven't seen it before, and the child Jun is crying. Ah. Don't be complacent, Chen Mo may become the first newcomer who seems to be the first, but in fact suffers heavy losses. His tiburium mine is a ticking time bomb. As long as there is an explosion, at least the investment of 60 billion will be wasted. More than that, if the beings in the universe can blow up one of his planets, they can blow up two. These greedy guys will not stop. When they get tiburium ore, their strength will expand rapidly. Ha ha ha, I hope to cause a beast tide, just kill Chen Mo. Although I know it's impossible. Come on, upstairs angrily criticized, I don't know what your thoughts are. Let me tell you bluntly, there must be a big hand behind that kind of cosmic life gathering. At least a demigod-level cosmic life. At this level, Chen Mo is also arrogant enough. Losing also makes people look at it, and the Federation should focus on training. Indeed, your value depends on your opponent. Humph. Curse Chen Mo, you are not enough to be seen by the beings in the universe, and you are worthy of playing in the mud with the natives in the newcomer area. It's better to play with the mud than for Chen Mo. Play, you can play. I want to too. I beg Chen Mo to play with me. I have to say, the topic gets crooked really fast. But you can also see how popular Chen Mo is in the newcomer area. Basically, when you call dad, everyone will feel that it is right. Recognized as the first. Of course, it's also because Chen Mo is so strong, so they don't have the mind to compare. But I also hope that Chen Mo will be hanged and beaten. Watching the strong eat cancer is definitely better than kneeling and licking. Therefore, various analyses. Some people even give advice to life in the universe. Of course, this is all Mouth 813 artillery kung fu, searching for the enemy in the void. They don't even know the real situation. If you know that Chen Mo is also looking forward to them. Waiting for life in the universe to appear. It wouldn't be so exciting. At this time, tiburium mining area, asteroid belt not far away. There is no sun all the year round here, and the dark and complex environment is very suitable for hiding. Unbelievable, so much ore. Hey, I can already smell the delicious taste. The tiburium ore here is of good quality. Here, as the territory of the cosmic slave owners, we have to be careful. Humph, a swarm of locusts. If it weren't for those big floating monsters, I would definitely sack the entire planet. Impossible. If I'm not wrong, this planet will be harvested once a day, and the tiburium ore grown on it will be transported away. It's not very useful for us to attack once. Don't look, prepare to retreat. It's estimated that I won't be able to grab anything this time. One of the monsters said. Can't grab it. You are calculating the time carefully. The other party didn't come to get the ore today. It feels like a trap. This time I don't think it is necessary, we are just ordered to investigate. The order of the great dragon god will not be delayed. Let's bring people and goods, and rob this slave owner. Then let the other party pay the ransom, pay the money in one hand, deliver the money in the other hand, and make a fair deal, isn't it fragrant? Another humanoid monster said. Chapter 232 Fair Trade. Speechless Luo Bing. Riding the face output. Stable. One more. Fair trade. The word came out of a monster's mouth. Especially since the other party only slaughtered an indigenous city yesterday. For a time, the entire monster group boiled. For a time, there were monsters in need of tiburium ore, urging them to attack one after another, impatiently, wishing they could bite down half of the planet in one bite. And the monsters that don't need tiburium ore all sneered. Waiting for others to take the lead. If there's no danger, and it's a little cheaper to follow, they don't mind. Of course, there are also more rational humanoid monsters, once again persuaded not to spoil the plan. Otherwise, know the means of the dragon god. 38 War Zone. The aftermath of Chen Mo's battle has yet to pass. Even, for Luo Bing, it was just the beginning. She thought she knew the ending, so it was nothing. I don't know. Still underestimated the influence of Chen Mo. On this day, many newcomers she attracted all discussed Chen Mo in the small group she established. After talking, he talked about how to defect to Chen Mo. We are now in the 38th theater. At first glance, it seems that there is nothing good, but in fact, we are under the management of Chen Mo. A chance, if I can, I want to hang out with my father. It's Sister Luo Bing's. Fortunately, we followed Bingbing. In the entire war zone, is she the only one who can contact Chen Mo? More than that, she is the only one in the entire newcomer area. I feel like Mr. Chen Mo is so aloof, I like it. Chen Mo is the boss of War Zone 38, and Goddess Luo Bing is the boss, so we are now in the group of Goddess Luo Bing. Round up, we are the people of Chen Mo boss. Recognize the reality, people should live in the moment. Chen Mo's father, please accept me. Let's just stop calling our group the 38th Theater Cooperation Organization, let's call it Chen Mo Support Group. Just click, the harem group is ready. I want to be photographed by boss Chen Mo. You are living under she. At Falling Ice Goddess, the lord of the harem, what do you think? Looking at the chat in the group, Luo Bing was speechless. This group of people. Really, haven't had a brain hemorrhage for more than 10 years, so I can't think of such a group name. At first glance, there seems to be no problem. But this group are all women. All of them. A group of women, daydreaming, want to eat swan meat. Stunned. Good guy, when her group leader isn't there. You build your harem here. Still privately listing yourself as the lord of the harem. Are you also fit? She was speechless. Holy Terra. Chen Mo didn't need to look at the newcomer area, and he knew that he was popular again. And it's different than before. This time, he is bound to enter the sight of many Star Soul Masters, and even Star Soul powerhouses. Those people will no longer treat him as a person. After all, it is extremely difficult for even an old man to obtain such a complete floating city. If it is a person, you will know that he has the means, and it is very special. But this point, Chen Mo doesn't care. His peculiarity, which has never been known, is impossible. Take this opportunity to let everyone get acquainted with him and know that there is a number one person like him, which is not bad. After all, the scarier thing is yet to come. This is just the beginning. Of course, there are many magical and exclusive civilizations in the Star Soul world. Chen Mo wouldn't say this either, which shocked the entire Star Soul world. As for some Star Soul powerhouses paying attention to Chen Mo, they want to trade the core of Nisr in his hands. This device, even in the Star Soul world, has many people greedy. It is said that there is only one true Nisr core. The world's first Nisr core, in the hands of the God of Wisdom in the Temple of Heaven. The rest are replicas of the first. After looking at the data of the trading platform for a while, and determined that the sales were hot, Chen Mo turned off the watch. At this point, it's time for evolution. Chen Mo turned his eyes and looked at life planet number 9 in war zone number 38. At this time, Leviathan, who devoured the body of a demigod, has undergone tremendous changes. Its shell, as if melted, is constantly turning into juice, flowing. The numerous tiburium minerals and demigods inside the body are not something it can withstand. Half god, half human, half god. It has not yet reached the stage of consciousness ascension. So the body is very important to them. Usually they will strengthen the transformation well. At this point, it is already very different from the body of ordinary creatures. So even a dead demigod. Contamination of dead bodies is also extremely serious. But it does not matter. This step is under the conditions required by the evolutionary deduction system. Ding. Your tribe devoured the body of the demigods of the golden human race, analyzing the fission gene. Are you consuming the corresponding resources and adding them to your own gene sequence? Fission. Chen Mo was overjoyed. Good guy, this seems to be related to the core of Nisr. Immediately, join femininity. Chen Mo didn't hesitate at all. Next moment, the Leviathan, which had begun to melt in front of Chen Mo's eyes, suddenly bloated. Its shell is being reshaped. The radiation inside is rapidly disappearing. Instead, a powerful energy. It seems that there is a more powerful source of power than the magic heart. But the next moment, it exploded with a bang. Chen Mo's eyes darkened, lost sight. When he switches over again, the entire Leviathan has turned into a sun. Yes. Because the energy is too scary. Fission out of control. The entire Leviathan exploded directly. The whole thing is a supergiant fission weapon. The terrifying particle stream that spurted out caused a lot of lightning to appear on the distant number 9 life planet. On the planet, looking up at the sky, everyone will be horrified to find that there is something circulating in the entire atmosphere, like an aurora. At the same time, the newcomers felt skin tingling. Duan, could it be that the Temple of Heaven has come back? This movement is really too big. For a time, there was a flurry of speculation in the newcomer area. Compared with the surprised crowd, Chen Mo was full of smiles. Cough cough. If this power is on a planet, it can directly blow a planet into pieces. The fission reaction occurs directly inside the cell. This is more than 1,000,000 times stronger than self-destruction. Floating city explodes. Chen Mo, here, the power of every Leviathan's self-destruction is so great. It's just a pity, this kind of power cannot be restrained, unless it can parasitically infect the core of Nisr, and get the method. Chen Mo believes that if combined with this core, his ability will change rapidly. This terrifying explosive energy can be concentrated in one direction and used effectively. It can burn flesh and blood in an instant, providing him with an explosive energy supply. This kind of energy is the necessary condition for opening the super-large Jaui. Excited, the fortress riding snake-moneyed Terran home planet, the preconditions are completed +1. Originally, Chen Mo thought that the knowledge of Jaui would be more difficult to obtain. But once this ability is acquired, Chen Mo saw hope. The probability of him obtaining the federal reward knowledge of the warp has definitely greatly increased. Even if it is not. After he leaps and evolves, the parasitic infection ability is enhanced again, and he can also analyze the starship by himself. How to get the Temple of Heaven. In other words, in 10 days, the output of the Queen of the Face-Riding Snake human race is stable. This time, after the evolution is completed, I only need to prepare the materials and perform the leap evolution. The road to the Star Soul powerhouse is about to start. At the same time, the conditions for using more knowledge are fully met, and I hope that this item will be included in the federal reward. In that case, I will be able to take down the snake people very soon. The queen of the demigod-level snake people, I believe she has a lot of knowledge and is worth exploring. Chen Mo took a deep breath. This day is worth looking forward to. Thinking so, he opened the watch. Click to apply for rewards. Chapter 233 Choose the Battle of the Temple of Heaven. Queen. Satisfied with the owner, 2 more. Federation is very efficient, although everyone has a record reward has not yet come down. But pay special attention to the reward, which is unique to Chen Mo. So quickly served. Arrived at the same time. There is also a federal notice. Congratulations, Lord of Star Soul. At present you are in the 33rd and 38th theaters, occupy the dominant position, and have completed the extermination order. Next, you can choose to join the Great Crusade or the Battle of the Temple of Heaven. Tip 1. Different choices will be rewarded by subsequent federations, which will be different. Hint 2. Don't make any choice. After 2 months, you will be automatically marked as a federal elite, fighting to connect all things. Tip 3. Once you make a choice, your newcomer period will end immediately, and you cannot sell goods on the newcomer area trading platform. Well, you can't trade in the newcomer area. This was unexpected before. Chen Mo carefully checked the notice. But fortunately, he had received a 2-year tax-free incentive in the second stage. So this, for other newcomers, may be a test of life and death. After all, 10% of the profits will be lost out of thin air. Some newcomers will not be able to operate. After a year, if the Star Soul can no longer be condensed, then the Federation will take back the planet in his hand. But for Chen Mo, it's not a big problem. He has money and resources. As for the star soul, the rest of the talents are currently condensed. Chen Mo is not at the same level as them at all. As for whether to join the Great Expedition, A20 or the Battle of the Temple of Heaven, this Chen Mo doesn't need to think too much. He finally accumulated the gene suppression of the Temple of Heaven. It can't be that way. And on the side of the Temple of Heaven, he currently has several known interests. The Queen of Snake People, the Unknown Source, and the Wealth of the Gods, these are quite a lot. If you are strong enough, eating these will definitely be enough to reach the star god level. At the same time, when I make a choice, even if there are 2 territories, add up 30 planets. With such a huge area, I'll need 30 planetary governors, and their respective teams and various assistants. A planet with hundreds of managers is the minimum. Chen Mo thought carefully. This is also because his work is all agricultural planets, and most of the labor is done by the Parasite Army and the Hulk, and there is no need to worry about these. Plus a powerful biological mastermind to assist. Otherwise, according to normal standards, the management personnel of each planet, from top to bottom, the most efficient civilization also needs thousands of people. Chen Mo's efficiency is 10 times that of them. But as the territory gets bigger and bigger, it's time to find some races that are good at other jobs. It's all Murloc management. It's not a big problem, but it becomes very rigid after a long time, and there are no new ideas. After all, they are all one species, and there is no diversity. However, Chen Mo does not plan to recruit people from the Star Soul world. He's going to wait and see. If there is a chance, you can choose other suitable natives. Like the Murlocs, after some transformation, there is a ready-made system, which can be used directly. At that time, the key planet must also establish a teleportation formation to connect with Terra. In an area, there must be at least one teleportation formation. I'm still too short of it. That's a 100 billion investment. Of course, this is a long-term infrastructure investment. Chen Mo naturally prioritizes evolution. With spare money, he is doing these things. However, once the construction is successful, in his 2 regions, all planets will be closely linked with Terra. And his main planet is closely linked with the parent planet. This creates a powerful system. By the way, and some of my partners, I have to reserve an area on Terra. However, the reconstructed manor has to be farther away from the portal. In the future, this will be my own paradise. Except for my people, it is best not to show up. It's not convenient after all. Thinking of this, Chen Mo couldn't help but glance at the queen. The construction of the manor will be handed over to you. I hope it will be a very comfortable paradise. It should be large, but the privacy should also be good. Chen Mo ordered. Well, I understand the master. The queen winked at Chen Mo playfully. After analyzing the content of the notification, Chen Mo continued to check the knowledge. In 2 war zones, Chen Mo received 4 knowledge attention rewards. The number is quite a lot, and I hope there will be a fold or space rift related. Chen Mo said expectantly. If so, it would save him a lot of trouble. Of course, none did and would not affect his plans. It just costs him a lot of extra resources and wastes some time. He has a lot of resources now, and he doesn't really care much, but in terms of time, it is actually not good for him to delay it for too long. Especially in the case of more than 1 month. With every extra day, the probability of the Queen of the Snake People ascending to the gods increases sharply. Low-level magic knowledge, magic metal shaping. Medium, CJDD, level spiritual knowledge, rune mastery. Intermediate spiritual knowledge, astral soul enhancement. Advanced idealistic knowledge, requiem, prelude. Good harvest. But it's a pity, I don't have the knowledge of Jaui, but a powerful attack ability came unexpectedly. This enhanced knowledge of the Star Soul is also very good. It allows me to fully utilize the power of the Star Soul. As long as I master it well, even if I am not a Star Soul powerhouse, my current Star Soul power can skyrocket by at least 50%. Chen Mo couldn't help but be surprised. This is the power of knowledge. His evolution knows, can fumble for himself, and is unique. But when it comes to Star Soul, this is the signature stunt of the Star Soul world, it is very powerful. At the same time, this knowledge is also unique in the Star Soul world. The core knowledge of civilization. Individuals from other civilizations, even if they accidentally know a little bit of this knowledge, will be stared at by the Star Soul world. In an instant, that individual dies. At the same time, the civilization where that body is located, the entire planet, will incur an extinction order. The knowledge of building a Star Soul and using the power of the Star Soul can only be mastered by humans in the Star Soul world. It seems that even if I become a star soul powerhouse, I'm still busy. Dark Sky, Requiem, Portal, Fortress, these all need to be built. Chen Mo couldn't help being excited. The future development prospects are bright. Not only his weapons, his exclusive race itself will also strengthen this knowledge with the Star Soul, becoming stronger by at least 50%. The Greenskins, I think I am blessed by the power of the Star Soul, and maybe it will become even more magical. Chen Mo's luck, naturally, not much to say. Even. He used to think that because of his favor, the two sisters of Irene, who might become demigods, would change from possible to certain. At that time, I will have at least 3 demigods under my command, and the queen herself, because of this strengthening, will go a step further and ascend to the gods ahead of time. It is not impossible. As for rune mastery, and fell metal shaping, for Chen Mo, it's of little use. The former can be sold. As for the latter, it is already low-level knowledge. Can't sell. Just keep it for yourself. Skills do not overwhelm. Now this kind of manufacturing knowledge, the price is not high. Little demand. The newcomers who were supposed to qualify have almost already qualified. Naturally you can get the knowledge you need. The hopeless newcomer will probably lie down and die at this moment. Naturally, you will not spend extra money to buy knowledge that may never be used. In this special attention reward, there is no knowledge of Jiui. It seems that we can only wait for the final, record and contribution ranking rewards. Chen Mo felt a little pity. Since this is the case, then there is no need for him to wait any longer. Be proactive and look for opportunities. Complete the leap evolution directly first. See if you can parasitically infect the starship and the Nisar core. Find a breakthrough here. Took an hour. A total of 10 billion worth of resources are ready. But this time, Master, there is a movement in the tiberium mining area. There are 5 times more life in the universe than last time, and they are gathering. The voice of the little fox, through the astral world, rang in Chen Mo's ears. Also, then deal with you first. Maybe, there's an extra surprise. Chen Mo didn't panic at all. Chapter 234 Artifact. Dragon God Minions. One more. Tiberium mining area. Asteroid belt. My god, Lord Dragon God is really too strong, so many strong people have gathered together. Yeah, I never knew that there were such legendary powerhouses in this dark star field. Hey, that giant beast over there is more than 30 kilometers long. This is a void dragon that can directly bathe in stars, right? It's still underage, but it's incredible. Hurry up and get stronger. Haha, now everyone can take the opportunity to get to know each other. No shit, Lousy was kicked out of your home planet by your race. Mother Star, you are a FG big bug that eats and runs away, and you deserve to mention the Mother Star. Okay, don't make any noise. Have you seen the dragon claw in my hand? This is the dragon claw that Lord Dragon God has dropped. This is a weapon used by the gods. It has the magical ability to split matter. Even space can be torn apart if it is blessed by a powerful force. This time, whoever attracts the slave owner can get the attention of Lord Dragon God. Whoever took the slave owner's head, this dragon claw, belongs to whom? 2 words, let the whole universe be boiling. Artifact. The sharp claws dropped by the gods, disintegrating matter, tearing space. For a time, the entire group of monsters is boiling. Many powerful beings in the universe are moving. Even the monsters who were not ready to attack just now and looked at the situation first, also had a gleam in their eyes. Now, worth a shot, although they also have the potential to advance to the gods. But ascending to God takes a long time to accumulate. If you get the claws of a god in advance, wouldn't it run wild in the universe? What's more, their attack was very subtle. Before that, they had not exposed at all. Even with prophecy, it is difficult to detect their actions. After all, this is the information that has the protection of the dragon god. I will take one slave at a time, and finally let the slave owner be scared to excrete. There is a huge snake-shaped creature, said. I will receive the gaze of the great dragon god, and the reward of this glory. The void dragon, who hasn't spoken much, spoke up. Very good. Energetic. The servant of the dragon god looked at the talking behemoth and smiled faintly. Your talent is very good. I believe that if you get the annotations of the great gods, you will be able to reach a higher level immediately. Work hard. This powerful cosmic life is indeed extraordinary. Even if he was a servant of the dragon god, he couldn't help but say a few words. It didn't take long for many monsters to converge on the meteorite belt closest to the mining area. This distance, many monsters have been too lazy to hide. After all, they are not fools either, knowing part of the methods of slave owners. If this distance has not been discovered, then there is a high probability that the other party has deliberately set a trap. On the contrary, they have to take a while to see clearly before taking action. Ah, I thought slave owners were not afraid of losses. It's really funny to see the other parties hustle and bustle. At this distance, do you still want to resist the great life in the universe? Go ahead. Don't give the cunning slave owners time to increase their troops. This time, we have an absolute advantage. Look at the situation in the Tiberium mining area. The servant of the dragon god gave an order. The form is great. Master, are we going to attack now, or wait for them all to come around? The queen said with a smile. Don't panic at all. Although I know that these are the minions of the gods, they are still the most flawed beings in the universe. But at this moment, she herself is a demigod. And with the support of her master, she knew very well that the other gods couldn't hurt her in the slightest with their eyes. Of course, if she dares to show up in person, that's just right, the master is direct. Keep her coming and going. In short, no matter what the situation, you will not lose. Wait a minute, when they all come out of the meteorite belt. And some of them were small humanoids who took refuge in the lizard dragons. One shot passed, and the flesh and blood evaporated in place. It's too wasteful. Chen Mo said. Slowing down and attacking again will help the biological mastermind to observe for a period of time and become familiar with the behavior of life in the universe. To better predict in advance. Moreover, no matter how small the mosquito legs are, they are still meat. Chen Mo didn't want these legendary minions to be evaporated in situ. Even if he can't use it, selling it to others can be worth a little bit of money. Understood, master, the queen said with a smile. At this point, she was also ready. You can cross the portal at any time and participate in the battle. They knew we were going to fight back, but they never knew that our counterattack would be this big. The two sisters Aaron were also excited. During this time, the layout of the Tiberium mining area was not in vain. A large number of parasite legions are waiting for the cosmic beings to come here. This time, they will fight against the minions of the gods. Soon, the beings in the universe are no longer hiding. Messy crowd, start rushing towards the Tiberium mining area. Don't look at their number as far less than the slaves of the slave owners, but each of them has the strength to suppress an indigenous civilization. So there is no need to be too cautious. Just head over there, and you're done. The advantage is very obvious. The Tiberium mining area has not been emptied of ore for 2 days. At this moment, the intense radiation above and the accumulation of ores made many cosmic beings extremely eye-catching. Not to mention, a team of Leviathan came with a large amount of manganese ore. These, transformed embryos, have also become the objects of looting at this moment. Can rob and attract slave owners. Then turn around and deal fairly with the other party. He originally belonged to him, and then sold it to him at an elevated level. 3 birds with 1 stone. Seeing this scene, many monsters were ecstatic. Everyone can get something. Some weaker humanoid monsters also secretly sighed in relief. With so many benefits, they can always have some soup along with them. Not even 1 bite. What a wealthy slave owner. This time I succeeded. I hope Dragon God can maintain this team stably. A monster said with a smile. This lizard dragon has been in the star area for many years, and it is not a waste. Unfortunately, there are not many powerful individuals. It seems that there are only 2. Demigod level, even more so. If there is a demigod, then there is a high probability of getting an opportunity for evolution. Chen Mo looked at the number of enemies counted by the biological mastermind. There are 59 enemies in total. They are all legendary powerhouses. Among them, there are 49 beings in the universe, and they are basically of different races. The remaining 10 are humanoids, 1 is a wandering golden man, and 4 of the other 9 are from the control area of the Temple of Heaven. It seems that the lizard dragon has become a refuge for the criminals of the Temple of Heaven. Seeing this, Chen Mo was also stunned. No wonder the other party was able to gather so many legendary powerhouses so easily. 0. As a force that is free from the vicinity of the Tianshan Temple, and as a god, it is natural to attract many followers from the site of the Tianshan Temple. It is not an exaggeration to say that it is a garbage concentration camp. But this female dragon wants to copy this set to the side of the Star Soul world. It is dreaming. It can only be said that after she has this idea, she is not far from death. Chen Mo believes that even if he doesn't trouble this lizard dragon in the future, the other party will be found by the star god who wants to get the bounty. Destroy them. Let them feel the truth well. As the life of the universe rushes halfway, a commander gave the order to attack. Next moment, a large number of parasite legions emerged from the long-hidden tiburium mining area. It's full of radiation and it's hard to detect. Logically, it is also impossible to hide creatures for a long time. But the parasite army is different. After Chen Mo's exclusive race has a stronger devour and replaced it with a high-energy gene, this problem can be barely solved. See this scene. The cosmic beings that were rushing into the hurricane were startled. They hesitated and slowed down. Just some ant-like servants. The dragon god watches you. The servant of the dragon god immediately said indifferently. As soon as these words came out, everyone's reaction was extremely fast, and they all accelerated. Rush. However, next moment, another portal opened. A splash sounded. There seems to be a wave out of nowhere. Rushing. The queen gracefully stepped through the portal. Demigod. Boom. The next moment, the entire Cosmos life group directly exploded. The one who responded the fastest was the servant of the dragon god. He used to oversee the battle at the end. At this moment, he turned his head and ran towards the meteorite belt. However, he found that no matter how much he rushed, he couldn't get far. There is an invisible force pulling him. For a time, the fear that burst out went straight to the sky. Big. Chapter 235 Found You. God-level lizard dragon. 2 more. Run. Help me. What a powerful gravitational force. Everyone be careful. Work together to break through the pull. Don't panic. For a while, exclamations continued. However, the next moment, as the queen stepped aside gently, the gravitational force from the entire portal skyrocketed dozens of times. In the blink of an eye, 10 of the 59-member legendary team not only did not lose their speed, but instead accelerated to fly towards the portal. Ah, do not want. 10 people roared. But in the space of the universe, there is no place where one can take advantage of it in the slightest. Just a little pause. 10 legendary monsters were directly sucked into the portal. That end. It is the tentacles that can't see the head, and the dim world. Seeing this scene, the remaining 49 cosmic beings were stunned. Can you still play like this? The other party is so huge that he is afraid 823 can't get over, and then sucks them over. They are masters of manipulating gravity, and because of this, the terrifying gravity from the portal. Let everyone die. Ah, don't hold me. Beast, let me loose your claws. Gravity is increasing rapidly. Soon, there are even weaker cosmic beings, and they can't support it anymore. They struggled madly. The portal is not big enough, but being pulled over there is absolutely nothing good. And the other party came ready to see it. Just this. It has already caused many beings in the universe to be so frightened that they want to run away. When everyone turned around and saw the servant of the dragon god running at the front, they were even more angry and cursed. For a time, many beings in the universe, without any scruples, showed their magical powers one after another. Of course, the weak will not be willing to be sucked in like this. Holding me can't run. You don't even want to run, no matter how you let go. No, let go of lousy. In a blink of an eye, there was a cosmic life more than 30 kilometers long, which was pulled up by several small men around. All of a sudden, the pressure skyrocketed. It happens that everyone has rough skin and thick flesh, and it is useless to shake it hard. The Void Dragon, which is more than 30 kilometers long, is known as the strongest legendary pinnacle here. The response is naturally very fast. He was barely distracted, squeezed out some of his strength. According to the monster on the side, no matter who it is a vicious blow. Boom. The guy who was hit by him immediately screamed. Then he was beaten and accelerated towards the portal. And there are several monsters flying one after another on the road. For a time, a chain reaction. More than a dozen cosmic beings were pulling each other, colliding and flying towards the portal. The Void Dragon followed this estimated force and flew forward for a while. Just about to break free from the pull of gravity. Next, as long as these dozen or so cosmic beings block the portal, he will be able to escape and ascend to heaven. At the same time, other beings in the universe also exerted their strength to suckle milk. At this moment, the cosmic beings that have not been affected are ecstatic. Just wait, it's the perfect time to escape. Sacrifice more than a dozen, happy everyone. However, the demigod-level queen, who specially stepped through the portal, was of course not just a decoration. I saw her raising her hand and slashing violently. More than a dozen giant beasts that were powerless to resist were directly blasted to both sides. It's more than that. The biggest one, directly divided into two. One strike, attacked more than a dozen cosmic beings. Die clean. Next, it's the turn of the 30 dragon god minions that are full of expectations. Now, seeing the failure of the Void Dragon's plan, all beings in the universe panic to the extreme. The servant of the dragon god at the front is still unbelievable at this moment. He said with a look of horror. Impossible. Demigods. This is clearly the territory of the new slave owners. Who the hell are you? I advise you not to mind your own business. We play for the dragon god Momaris. If you offend us, you will die. It doesn't seem that the power of the slave owner is used by the person who sees it. He immediately moved out of the backer. Of course. After all, he has dealt with gods, and at the same time holds a divine weapon, so his reason is still there. But the Void Dragon has always believed in the bloody law of Kongolan. Seeing that he was already struggling, he immediately burst into flames. Now, he couldn't care less. In full force. Crazy pulling and attacking the rest of the cosmic beings around. Treat them like cannonballs. Boom to the portal. If more than a dozen cosmic beings are not enough, then double the number. Death to me, he growled fiercely. In his dictionary, there is no word for admit defeat and surrender. Unless the gods come. However, the next moment. These legendary beasts can't stand the attack either. Without saying a word, was blasted away by the Mermaid Queen. The rest of the parasitic army groups are not decorations either. Next moment, this powerful Void Dragon was attacked by more than a dozen Leviathan. From Leviathan's open mouth, terrifying high-energy rays spewed out. With a scream, the Void Dragon was directly cut off its limbs. Looking at the Void Dragon who was covered in smoke and no longer made a sound. The servant of the dragon god was trembling all over. He looked at the monsters in disbelief. Okay, so strong, what kind of means is this? You are not the slaves of the new slave master, who are you? Bold, to insult my master, the queen scolded. Don't bow your head to the truth. Joining glorious evolution is your only way out. As she spoke, she commanded the parasitic army that came up and began to collect the corpses. Second hit, she couldn't control her power. More importantly, the master ordered that the Void Dragon is of great use. Otherwise, the blow just now. It's not about grilling the other party to death. Slave owner, it's actually a slave owner. Damn, when did the new slave owner become so powerful? The servant of the dragon god was stunned. At the same time, his thoughts of trying to negotiate conditions have been completely cut off. The cruelty of slave owners, he knew very well. But he is not without support. The great dragon god protects me. I'm also a servant, I'm more advanced than you. The servant of the dragon god spit out a sharper claws from his mouth. The terrifying power instantly caused ripples in the space. At this moment, he broke free from the influence of gravity. But Queen Ash saw this -3.3 scene, not only did not panic. Instead he laughed. Brilliant. Windfall. I'm sure the owner will like it. At the moment when the servant of the dragon god uses the sharp claws of the artifact. A dark star sector far away. A lizard dragon opened its eyes. Spread out a lot of slaves. Finally rewarded. Next moment, he moved. With his movements, the continent collapsed. Lava splashes. Countless shouts and wailing. Begin to ring. Original. Because he did not use the power of his body for too long, a strange planet had formed on the surface of his body. It even gave birth to a race that called itself Dragonians. Yes, as a god-level lizard dragon. His body is comparable to a planet. Chapter 236 NB Luo Bing. Quickly bury the baby in the soil. 3 more. Holy Terra. Now, Luo Bing has nothing to do. So after the goods were delivered, she followed. Take a tour. Chen Mo took the other party to visit, and by the way, also classified the planets under his command according to different planet types. At this time, Terra is also in the process of designing a new manor according to the Queen's arrangement. In short, most of the rest under Chen Mo's control are busy with work. Mining, transformation and evolution, expansion of warehouses, and planning of specific types of fishery resources. As far as the eye can see, it is prosperous. 30 planets. 25 of them have long served as agricultural planets. The other 5 are currently mining planets, and after the resources are exhausted, they will be transformed into agricultural planets. Chen Mo's current average utilization rate of all planets is less than 50%. Of course, it's not that the queen or the mermaid are not strong enough. It is their ability that is most suitable for taking effect in a wide range of water bodies. That is the ocean. Of course, a planet cannot be all oceans. There are few planets like that. Still mainly land. Currently poor, it is a race suitable for transforming the land and suitable for farming. Chen Mo, you have changed a lot. I was moved when I saw it. Such a big gold coast, it's so comfortable to stay here. Here, other planets are also developing very fast. I currently have 2 planets in my hands, and I want to ask your mermaid to help them take care of them. Quote. Luo Bing said with a smile. Look around. She walks on the beach with her feet 29, feeling the cool sea water, very comfortable. The mermaids here at Chenmo are not only beautiful, but also very capable. She would be unbelievable if she hadn't seen it with her own eyes. Originally, this was just a barren planet. Everyone is not optimistic. But at this moment, this planet is almost reaching the level of Garden World. The environment of the whole planet is outrageous. What's even more eye-catching is that it can return to its home planet at any time. The permanent parent star channel is not only the guarantee of upgrading and transforming the planet, but also the guarantee of absolute safety. Live here. There is no need to worry about some gods with strange abilities. It must be more comfortable to sleep at night. It's no wonder that you were able to sleep in bed for a day yesterday. It's really comfortable here, suitable for rest and relaxation. I'm so envious. Luo Bing said directly. If she usually praises a boy like this, she will feel that she may be seriously ill. But for Chen Mo, she was genuinely envious. Chen Mo knew that the other party was really complimenting. But it's not for this reason that I'm lying on the bed. What a strange misunderstanding. He just smiled and didn't answer. We will be neighbors in the future. I often come over to squat, is it all right? Luo Bing finally couldn't help but say. Well, yes. Chen Mo hesitated, but agreed. This is really not a requirement. It's as simple as dropping by. But considering the sound of the queen last time, the whole manor could hear it. Although it sounds really cool. But when I thought that there was a guest like Luo Bing next door. How to think. Just feel embarrassed. Okay, then it's settled. Luo Bing pursed his lips and laughed. Anyway, she is in a rotten state with Chen Mo. Cheeky. Chen Mo and Luo Bing were talking and laughing, over the tiberium mining area. Things are completely done. According to the evolution by deduction, the system detects the appropriate evolution possibility appears. Is it devouring the legendary peak cosmic life form, Void Dragon, acquiring the opponent's genes? I expect over 99% success rate. Looking at the system prompt. Chen Mo was instantly happy. Good guy. I thought there were no demigods and no chance for evolution. The result is worthy of the life of the universe, even if it is a legend, it is high enough. Good news, Master. I found a claw from the fastest running monster. It's the claw of a lizard dragon. It's so strong, it's comparable to an artifact. Immediately afterwards, the queen sent back a message. Good news keeps coming. Chen Mo was startled, and immediately smiled. The leap evolution has not yet begun. There is a new ability here, lining up to come. After a while, the efficient parasite army has cut all flesh and blood. And the statistics of the harvest. A total of 58 legendary creatures were killed, including 10 humanoid creatures, and half of their equipment was complete. It was found that there are space rings, 3 pieces, and various high-level equipment, 15 pieces. What's more interesting is that many cosmic beings actually have magical equipment, and there is one, and there are many collections in the stomach, so it's a good thing to carry treasures with you. Master, the other party explained that he was instructed by the dragon god Momaris. The queen has just interrogated this information. I immediately reported to Chen Mo. Of course. She dared not say the name of this dragon god directly. Instead, the message was sent. I suspect that the other party has already located our position. The queen spoke solemnly. Definitely. Chen Mo responded. Is the name of the gods so easy to call? Especially this kind of gods who try to develop believers at first sight. When this servant of the dragon god called out, Momaris. The other party should have already located the tiberium mining area. But being noticed by the other party, Chen Mo is not surprised. After all, it is normal to kill the young and the old to come to the door. What's more, many of his subordinates have also suffered the so-called lizard dragon curse. This was left over when the last legendary lizard dragon was beheaded. The other party should have confirmed the first time, killing a few enemies, this is the family. But what Chen Mo didn't expect was that This dragon god is quite bold. Not only dare to send people over to collect information, use your own name directly without saying it, he also dared to let his subordinates hold parts of his own organs. There must be some reliance. Strength will not be weak. However, this is simply giving Chen Mo a spree. Is worried that there is no way to deal with each other. At this moment, the weapon was delivered to the door by the other party himself. The claws of the gods are so sharp, it should be no problem to stab yourself to death, right? And Chen Mo will soon have each other's dragon claws. Not even one. The rest may take this as a family heirloom. But here in Chen Mo, the baby is buried in the soil, and after a period of time, many babies will grow. But, if the other party is not afraid of death, he can easily destroy my colonial planet, including the tiberium mine. Chen Mo thought carefully. But don't worry about that. After all, the gods are almost immortal, and they are not so stupid. It's not worth fighting with him, a small cosmic slave owner. But it is more troublesome to be determined by the other party and staring at it all the time. At least when the time comes to attack the Snake Clan, Chen Mo's parasites that have already played will no longer be able to go. Especially the queen, so as not to be noticed in advance by the other party. Come and make trouble. Chen Mo, what's the matter with you? Do you have something to deal with? Then I won't bother you, you go first. Seeing that Chen Mo suddenly stopped speaking, Luo Bing knew that the other party was managing other things. She has encountered this situation several times. It's no wonder. I just don't know what's going on. At this time, it's reasonable to say that there's nothing wrong. Not. Suddenly, she thought in her heart. It can't be the Tiberium planet, what happened? She asked worriedly. Well, it was targeted by the minions of the gods there. Chen Mo nodded. For a time, Luo Bing was stunned. What? Gods? Did you hear it right? This word made her mind buzz. Chen Mo's ability to do things will always exceed the limit of her imagination. You better not provoke them, let the superior handle it. Luo Bing suggested. I've killed them all, and captured that god's servant alive, wait, dead, he committed suicide. Halfway through what Chen Mo said, he couldn't help but feel a pity. Would like to find out more information. As a result, the other party was still a believer, and directly committed suicide under the influence of the dragon god. At this time, Luo Bing, she was too shocked to speak. Dare to offend the gods now. He also killed the opponent's minions. The star soul is on top, you kill it when you say it. This is not out of the rookie period, and the ability to do things is so outrageous. When you go further, who are you going to provoke? Luo Bing didn't even dare to think about it. Chapter 237 Prostitute the Dragon God for Nothing. Become a god in 1 month, the advantage is mine. One more. So you and the other party have a deadly vengeance. Luo Bing was sluggish for a while, then came back to his senses and said worriedly. Of course, she is not worried about Chen Mo's safety. But if this is the case, then Chen Mo's actions may be troublesome. He didn't dare to sway around, and he could only stay in the area under the strong control of the Star Soul world. But it doesn't matter, anyway, you have everything on this planet. If you need my angel's help, you can say it. Luo Bing thought about it carefully. He also vaguely admired Chen Mo. What the other side faces is called a challenge. Against the gods, even directly kill the servants of the other party, maybe even the favored ones. All I can say is, very exciting. It is hoped that one day, the kingdom of angels that she established, the high-level heaven, will also have such a powerful combat power. Chen Mo retracted his gaze and stopped paying attention to the suicidal servant of the dragon god. He looked at Luo Bing and said, even if I don't have enmity with this god now, I will have enmity with many gods in the temple of heaven in the future. Since we belong to the Star Soul world, because of the faction, we will have to face these sooner or later. It's fine for me to adapt early. This is not Chen Mo's self-comfort. He had also played against the goddess of luck indirectly before. And killed a lot of people on the other side. Now he is being targeted by the so-called dragon god again. That's right, there is also an ancient god who has died. If the other party returns, there is a high probability that they will also find Chen Mo, who is digging her corner, to trouble her. So far, Chen Mo made a careful calculation. There are already at least 3 gods that he has offended. This didn't even count the number of golden people he killed, and whether he was concerned by the gods in their clan. In short, the follow-up battle of gods is inevitable. Chen Mo had a hunch. He briefly followed, and experienced quite a few really big scenes. This seemingly fierce battle now is just a small fight. In the world of the Star Soul Powerhouse, the siege of the city, the game with the gods. Just think about it. Chen Mo felt stimulated. That's the real battle, and the payoff is huge. How many evolution opportunities can there be in acquiring a divine body? In short, Chen Mo is not only not afraid, but eager to try. There are risks, but the benefits are so much more. He is the strongest among the newcomers. The first in history. And has the only cluster civilization, gene soaring. All these achievements and advantages give Chen Mo enough confidence. You must know that the first rookie in the past, as long as there is no accident, the bottom is a star god level. With his achievements, he did not make a big deal in the battle of the Temple of Heaven. I'm also sorry for this newcomer king's name. The life of the universe becomes a god, and the opponent's strength is comparable to that of ordinary gods, how long it will be stronger. And the other party dares to blatantly shelter the criminals of the Temple of Heaven, which shows that ordinary gods do not dare to provoke him. The strength of this female dragon is among the indigenous gods, and it should be very strong. But one thing is very strange. Before, the Temple of Heaven didn't seem to know the relationship between the little lizard dragon and the dragon god. After sharing some of Chen Mo's intelligence, Luo Bing analyzed it carefully. She has not yet had the strength to fight against the gods, but it does not prevent her from making a reasonable analysis. That said, indeed, I can only think of two reasons. One is that the dragon gods are advancing. One is that maybe this is how they raise their offspring. Chen Mo said, advance to a more powerful god. Luo Bing thought for a moment, and his eyes widened. If so, wouldn't it be trickier than expected? No need to worry. Chen Mo smiled without explaining too much. He has already obtained the genes of the lizard dragon, as well as the dragon claws dropped by the other side. In the following process, the other party kept sending people to come. Maybe bring him more goodies. Anyway, if he doesn't leave Terra, how can that female dragon handle him? On the contrary, Chen Mo hopes that the opponent's hatred will be stronger, and the more flaws, the better. Conversely, if the dragon god was afraid of the horrors of the Star Soul world, he would not dare to do anything. That was Chen Mo's biggest loss. After all, the opponent's strength is strong, and it has to be said that the initiative is still in the hands of the dragon god. At least Chen Mo wants to please the other party to send more evolution materials. It also depends on the dragon god himself. After all, Chen Mo couldn't lock her position. Want to prostitute each other. The only way at present. Just keep pulling hatred. With this in mind, Chen Mo decided to contact the Federation later. In this matter, the Federation had better not interfere. At least you can't take the initiative to trouble the dragon god. This is his battle process. The benefits, of course, are also his. I hope the dragon god will be more powerful, so that his subordinates don't even have demigods, right? Send a few demigods, or else it's too bad. Chen Mo thought so. His eyes turned to the fortress. The fortress at this time. More and more powerful, the symbol of the cosmic slave owners, the dark sky, has also been half built. The whole base, already installed. The huge and magnificent pyramid-shaped base can inspire a terrifying shield in the near future. This shield is, to some extent, invincible. Even if it is the attack of the gods. You can also resist. Chen Mo predicts that. Wait for him to be promoted to the Star Soul Powerhouse, and then carry out the final warping ability transformation of the fortress. At that time, would he be afraid of the dragon god? All the gods in the Temple of Heaven have to climb. It seems that we have to strive to finish the construction of the dark sky as soon as possible. We need to hurry up to change knowledge, so we can prepare the necessary funds in advance. With any luck, when I become a Star Soul Powerhouse, I will have a fortress that can jump. Within 3 days, evolution will yield results, and I'll be able to adapt to my powers. Chen Mo estimated. Once the fortress has defense and maneuverability, then it's stable. Not only that, the time for great harvest will come. Thinking of this, after Chen Mo sent Luo Bing away, immediately opened the leap evolution. Without waiting for the queen to bring back the spoils. Cannot wait anymore. Now, he just wanted to increase his strength. To meet him, it will be a whole new situation. Snake people, dragon gods, ancient gods of the mysterious source, and the goddess of luck in the Temple of Heaven, etc. All waiting for him to harvest one by one. Just evolve. These may become reality for Chen Mo. Snake people home planet. This is located in the inner area of the Temple of Heaven. The distance of the war has spread to here. There is still a long way to go. Of course, according to the style of slave owners, many nearby civilizations have panicked. Now, many civilizations are begging for milk, hoping that the Temple of Heaven can help them find another planet. Or simply shelter them. The only exception is the snake people. Because they have Queen Oran. This is the pride of the snake people, and it is also the confidence of the entire snake people. Although, like the surrounding civilization, it has not reached level 2.0 civilization. But their treatment in the Temple of Heaven is heaven and earth. Even, they have independent operation of starships, and it is not difficult to immigrate with their families. So unlike the anxiety that spreads in this sector, the snake people are very calm. And the snake people at this moment, even a grand ceremony was held. Because, their queen, has decided to hold a ceremony to enshrine the gods. Her Royal Highness, our people have already inquired about the slave owner's information. Quote, in addition to making us suffer, he also made the infiltration team suffer a lot not long ago. The Golden Man lost a demigod. The opponent is very strong, but it is still limited to the strength of the demigods. Even if we rely on our current strength and the entire clan to dispatch, we can easily suppress the opponent, not to mention. The money is good. A snake woman minister chuckled lightly, feeling relaxed at the moment. After all, once their queen ascends to the gods, the other party will not be afraid. Not only that, but they will also benefit from it. Each one becomes stronger. Great King, I hope that when the time comes, I will take action and personally end the life of the other party. Olitoka, the spear of the serpent race, gritted his teeth. Now, she looks so determined. Recently, for her, every day is a torment. Being caught by Chen Mo, the humiliating thing is always rolling in my mind. She couldn't sleep. Don't worry, I will let you and him make a break. Not only you, but also Opera. The queen said lightly. She believes in her own strength. When Opera heard this, her eyes also lit up with excitement. Last time, she was slapped in the face by the other party. Was also mocked silently by a mermaid. Mix this time. New accounts and old accounts, count together. In 3 more days, the materials required for the ascension ceremony will be ready. 1 month later, we welcome the birth of our gods. Thinking of this, Opera respectfully fell to the ground. Chapter 238 The Plan of the Snake Queen Oran. Leap Evolution. 2 more. In a month, I will surely ascend to God. At that time, my snake people will become a superior race, and the shining starry sky of the gods will also have a place for me. All the people of our clan enjoy the supreme glory. Queen's voice is calm, but her words spread far. Reverberates across the home planet. This voice never fades away. All the snake people cheered. A snake man with a beautiful demon, weeping with joy. At that time, my family will have a large number of colonized planets. Not only that, the tiburium ore we excavated will no longer be handed over to the Golden Man. They don't even want to take a piece. We can finally grow the crops we want by ourselves. Long live the Queen. Long live the Queen. The whole planet is boiling. The will of the planet exudes a sense of joy. The whole world is about to usher in a turning point. Inside the Serpent's Royal Palace, 827. Seeing Opera and Olitoka kneeling in excitement, the queen nodded in satisfaction. In my heart, she smiled to herself. Thinking about it like this, it should be enough to make the slave owner be in a hurry for a while, right? I really thought your little tricks, I wouldn't know. That's really underestimating me. The Snake Queen sneered in her heart. Although she is not a god, she has been exploring the mysterious disturbance of consciousness for a long time. Her knowledge is extraordinary, and there is the support of Goddess of Luck. She was able to dodge the first calculation without going through the portal. Face the second time. Naturally, there is enough caution. Although Opera is my right-hand man, I don't see JDD will be completely relieved that they are sent back. Even how to check, no problem was found. But I won't say it explicitly. I hope that the information disclosed this time can be known to the slave owner. In this case, he will definitely come to attack at a critical moment. In fact, I will take the risk at least 10 days earlier than that. When I think of the plan in my heart, the queen couldn't help but feel proud. She is much stronger than she imagined. Also be much more cautious. Of course, this may also be void fighting spirit. But not afraid of 10,000, just in case. The other party really has a backing on Opera. This fake news spread can definitely confuse the other party. Of course, her plan is not just to confuse the arrogant slave owner. And the main enemy of the Temple of Heaven, the Golden Man. To this end, she did not hesitate to deceive the entire snake people a little bit. Do a full play. Of course, in this case, she won't be able to use the materials for ascending the gods prepared by gathering the power of the entire race. It is equivalent to having to prepare almost twice as many materials in private. But this price, she gritted her teeth and could bear it. Also worth it. By promising an alliance to Lady Luck, she gained a number of key resources. This extra resource is a great value. The Queen's plan is indeed wonderful. A little bit of a hard-to-play taste. To lure Chen Mo to come. When she thought that she had become a god, Chen Mo thought she had not become a god, and ran to threaten to cause trouble. Think about this scene. The Queen couldn't help licking her tongue. Hee, when the time comes, the slave owner will be at her feet, and the scene must be very interesting. The Queen thought. However, what the Serpent Queen doesn't know is, she's really smart, but only half right. Chen Mo will indeed attack her. But I didn't plan to use any stratagem at all. She didn't even plan to take advantage of the critical moment when she ascended to the gods, running to make trouble. Instead, prepare to push horizontally, come hard, and take her down directly. Holy Terra! The ring on Chen Mo's wrist exudes a rich blue light. The purple light in it is already faintly visible. Now, he's making a leap forward. Ding! It is detected that the host has obtained enough resources. According to the system deduction, using the star cooperation, a round of leap evolution can be started, and genes such as high energy, national, parasitic, etc. can be selected. The evolution success rate of deduction is 99.9%. Please choose one gene as the main evolution type. Quote. Chapter 239 Mu Yao, who works overtime without stopping. Parasitic leap evolution. One more. Star Soul World. Mu Yao, who was busy for 3 days and 3 nights without sleep. At this point there are already dark circles. There was an undisguised tiredness on his delicate face. To be honest, after becoming a relatively successful female CEO, she has never worked so much overtime. Fortunately, at this time, she could finally breathe a sigh of relief. It can be said that the work is basically arranged, and the manpower is barely gathered. The equipment is also in place to complete Chen Mo. Over there. Mu Yao said to herself optimistically. But before she finished speaking, her watch vibrated slightly. Subsequently, there was a tinkling sound. Your partner opens the portal and sends tiburium ore 200 plus, please receive confirmation. Your partner opens the portal and sends 1 million tons of titanium ore, 2,000 top-level magic crystals, and 2 commander rings for transporting resources. Please note that your partner sent you a processing request. Quote. Your partner has listed items. The message that suddenly kept ringing. Mu Yao was immediately dumbfounded. I haven't had time to take a closer look. Outside the office, another subordinate hurried in. Mr. Mu, our warehouse is almost full. Hurry up and ask the other party to stop shipping. There are long queues at the portal, and they are almost blocked. Cough. God, there's a cargo full of 2 rings. My God, it's too extravagant to use rings to transport goods. Where do you get so many commander rings? Before the subordinates finished speaking, they were caught in an emergency. Disrupted the plan again, exclaimed in surprise. What? How come? The newly expanded warehouse is buzzing. After hearing the news from her staff, Mu Yao almost fell on the table with her forehead on her back. Is this the speed that comes from super genius? I feel so tired. Sure enough, trying to prepare well for Chen Mo's shock is an impossible thing. Things always come so suddenly. Why all of a sudden, there are so many goods? Oh no, hurry up to expand the warehouse, recruit people, and double the production line. Mu Yao took a deep breath. Shaking his head, he decided to continue working overtime. She doesn't believe it anymore. Can Chen Mo kill her suddenly? The other party is such a genius, and the various resources that have been tapped and delivered are increasing every day. Could it be that you don't even have the ability to handle these resources? Think carefully. Mu Yao couldn't help but be in disbelief. In addition to being frustrated, he was also a little unconvinced. Shouldn't it? How can I be so bad? Am I old? Chen Mo didn't know that before his evolution, he casually sent a living creature, which made Mu Yao doubt his life for a while. Chen Mo definitely made another big move today. Look at this harvest. The commander's ring is not sold, but as a means of delivery. Strange, but there is no movement in the newcomer area. Could it be that it is the tiburium mining area? Mu Yao is very curious. What is Chen Mo doing? All of a sudden, there is a sudden surge of so much tiburium ore that needs to be processed. Forget it. There are still many other minerals. Etc. There are also giant beast corpses, which must be processed into specimens and prepared to be sold to the big library. Outrageous. Hey, I can't process anything. Mu Yao was dumbfounded. However, she still picked up the watch and prepared to contact Chen Mo with a suitable processing person. It's definitely the tiburium mine. Chen Mo should have a huge harvest. Even defeated a lot of cosmic life. If this matter spreads, it will definitely be another heated discussion. Mu Yao couldn't help but envy Chen Mo. At first it was just a newcomer. But now, the other party has reached a height that she cannot reach. And it's still growing. Originally everyone thought that the tiburium mining area would be a hidden danger. She remembered that at the beginning, she also suggested to Chen Mo, and said that she was willing to let her best friend Lu Ru help in the past. There are still some worries, Chen Mo can't handle it. After all, it is a ferocious life form that has been wandering in the universe since childhood. Actually not only her, but many people, including Chen Mo's beautiful partner, Luo Bing. Not to mention in the newcomer area, there are people talking about this every 3 or 5 times. Everyone believed that Chen Mo was too smooth for the tiburium mining area, and sooner or later he would fall into trouble. Who knows, it's so silent. It was solved by Chen Mo. Even before this, there was no news. No waves. It made Mu Yao feel extremely excited at the moment. She found a big news, but no one shared it. Gradually, she, like the rest of the newcomer area, has the habit of passing through the newcomer area, secretly observing Chen Mo, and resisting various battle videos. But this time, suddenly there was nothing. No one to share, itchy all over, it is very uncomfortable. But Mu Yao believes that this news should be discovered sooner or later. When that time comes, I believe that those who used to speak ill of Chen Mo in the newcomer area will be slapped in the face. For flowers. Everyone will be shocked. If the corpse of a legendary peak universe life is auctioned. That would be more perfect. Mu Yao couldn't help but smile. The expressions of those people are bound to be interesting. But then again, Chen Mo must be busy counting his loot right now. I don't have time for these things. This should be the biggest move Chen Mo can make in the near future. Next, just waiting quietly for Chen Mo to choose the follow-up. Is it the Temple of Heaven or the Great Crusade? No matter which one it is, Mu Yao believes that Chen Mo will make a career with the extremely solid foundation. At that time, her income will naturally rise. Hopefully Chen Mo can become a star soul powerhouse within half a year. Or a huge victory in 2 months. Mu Yao muttered to herself. This is a blessing. After all, the real situation is that it will take at least 1 year to become a star soul powerhouse. The further back, the more terrifying the resources needed. The construction of civilization is not achieved overnight. It takes a lot of time just to establish communication with the other masters of star souls, to carry out trade, and to transform the planet. By the way, there are also starships. It takes a lot of time to build a starship. I don't know which starship Chen Mo wants. The first one is generally very memorable and represents the future development direction. After Mu Yao said so, she flipped through the address book. She knows several Tier 2.5 civilizations, many of which are capable of building starships. There is one, even the elite consortium. Understand the market first, then you can give Chen Mo some advice. Holy Terra. Selecting for parasitic genes. Chen Mo said without hesitation. This time evolution. Choosing parasitism is of great use to him. Whether it is the queen of the snake people, or the parasitic infection of the starship, or the control of the core of Nisar. Infection control is inseparable. While starting to evolve, Chen Mo also called the Mermaid Queen. Instructed her to select the parasite army and begin to assemble to the fortress. Building the dark sky with all our strength. Once I become a star soul powerhouse, if I am lucky, I will be able to parasitically infect the starship immediately, and maybe I will gain the knowledge of jumping. At that time, go directly to the home planet of the snake people. Coupled with a stronger parasitic infection, it spreads secretly. When he arrives, Chen Mo believes that the expression of the Snake Queen must be very rich. Big. Chapter 240. The first step of the evil god, chicken mushrooms. Infect the will. 2 more. Listening to Chen Mo's words, the Mermaid Queen was very excited. Phenomenon is a beautiful scene. But she also has an idea. Master, you said that the Queen of the Snake People has been infected by the source. If so, I'm afraid the Queen's worries are not impossible. In that case, touching the other party will become quite dangerous. Don't worry, I will purify her. As long as she comes to Terra and faces the world of Star Soul, she will either be turned to ashes or she will be loyal to me. Chen Mo said. He was already prepared for this. At that time, the other party will also be caught and face the Star Soul world. If the Serpent Queen turns to ashes, then the problem is more serious. Chen Mo will directly exterminate the entire planet. Not simply extinction, but the entire planet, not a single one left. It is a good idea to use the terrifying rays to burn the entire planet into a glass ball of 830, like the floating city of the Temple of Heaven. If the Queen is all right, that's best. Chen Mo can get started directly as if he were ruling the Murlocs. Infected by parasitism, consciousness returns to the astral world. To make the other party 100% loyal to you, don't be too simple. Even, Chen Mo doesn't need to do this deliberately. After replacing some of the other's brain cells. Allegiance to Chen Mo, from the heart, a natural thing. At first it may just be a loyal servant of the body. But you must know that consciousness can affect matter, but in turn, matter is more likely to affect will. Even, many very pure materialist civilizations will think that the material basis determines everything. In a word, no matter what, Chen Mo, through the practice of the Murlocs and many parasite legions, found this step to be easy. As his strength increases, it will only get stronger. Moreover, after joining the astral world and becoming a part of the collective will, it is not only the material influence of materialism. Relying on the power of the Star Soul, the influence on the mind is also extremely terrifying. Just catch the Serpent Queen. Subsequent things will be very simple. The Queen will gain an object of allegiance. And Chen Mo can get another vibe. There is no doubt that the opponent's talent will not be bad. Chen Mo not only has a beautiful snake girl. There is also another, grave digger, master. Add the Mermaid Queen, and that's 2 queens. The 2 organize the knowledge of the ancient gods together. Work hard for Chen Mo together. Double the joy. Forehead. Hear Chen Mo's words. The Mermaid Queen was dumbfounded. Okay, she was totally overly worried. The master's strength and ideas are completely different from hers. She is still thinking about how to guard against each other. The master has already prepared a full set of measures. Of course, she is very clear that these wonderful methods are unique to the master. In short, very outrageous, flesh and blood, consciousness, in the master's place, as long as he wants, he can use it 100%. It's really environmentally friendly. The master's ability is simply invincible. Wouldn't it be a direct parasitic infection of all things? The Queen couldn't help saying. The future feels so bright. Facing the praise, Chen Mo smiled, but he was still sober. It is possible to infect all things, but it is far from being invincible. After all, some gods are completely separated from flesh and blood, and infection in the general sense is useless to them. Also, the power of idealism is endless, and the other party can directly eradicate my parasitic infection conceptually, so I can't resist it at all. Quote. Of course, the power of idealism, Chen Mo also has it. And far above the same level. And at a very early stage, it showed incredible abilities. I believe that if Chen Mo's parasitic infection can't be solved, his spiritual power can also handle it. Just like deduction of evolution, the probability is not enough, just make it up. As long as Chen Mo believes that evolution can succeed. That's fine. This time, the Queen of the Snake People will be captured alive. Thinking of this, Chen Mo couldn't help but silently make a contribution. I don't know how much it will take. But the faith must be firm. Anyway, it works. In this way, Chen Mo chatted with the Queen. While feeling the power of leaping evolution. After a few hours. As the time goes, Chen Mo's power is getting stronger and stronger. Not only that, the Queen beside her suddenly snorted. Master. I feel your power, it is increasing, I feel like. Brown, such a strong power. The Queen was shocked. As the benefactor of Chen Mo, the will of the world. Her power is expanding rapidly. That said, wouldn't the master be more? She couldn't help looking at Chen Mo. At this time, Chen Mo stopped talking. On the back of his hand, the light suddenly rises. Among the blue, there is a noble purple. This is the symbol of the Star Soul powerhouse. As the name suggests, even in the Star Soul world, this belongs to the ranks of the strong. Real man, regardless of the current situation. As long as you use your own strength seriously, there will be a place for the strong in the Star Soul world. Ding. The deduction evolution has been completed, the parasitic genes have been evolved, and your exclusive race can parasitically infect more substances, and the speed is greatly accelerated. Combined with high energy genes, it can even infect some single energy substances and infect weak wills. Ding! Congratulations to the host. Your exclusive race has completed the fourth genetic leap, and its essence has been improved. The collective will has to be improved, and you can use your ideal power to interfere with reality on a larger scale. Hiss. Contagion energy. Chen Mo was shocked. This ability is so awesome. Although only a single energy substance can be infected now, there are not many such opportunities. A weak conscious body, Chen Mo can also directly forcibly infect flesh and blood. But the problem is, this means that the next step of this ability will be able to infect a powerful consciousness. Even gods, these individuals with soaring consciousness cannot escape infection either. This must also have something to do with the evolution of the last high-energy gene integration, charm, gene. Chen Mo is very sure. It was at that time that Chen Mo's exclusive race had the ability to manipulate energy and emotions through spores, mushroom-growing cells. This time, it's a step further. This ability is further extended to the realm of energy and consciousness. 3.3 In short, at this time, this ability has indeed reached what the Queen said just now, it is simply invincible. That's the ability to go beyond the general parasitic concept. Towards the realm of the evil god, we are advancing. Some knowledge, the names of some gods, cannot be known, so in the future, when someone calls my name, will they be able to grow mushrooms directly on my body? Chen Mo shared this interesting idea with Queen Ash. Vomit. Don't talk about it, I just ate mushrooms today. The Mermaid Queen just thinks. Some scalp tingling. Will there be a group of people who know the truth about mushrooms in the future and will no longer dare to eat mushrooms? When you think of mushrooms, you get hairy all over. Cough. No, I'm sorry, Master, that mushroom doesn't count. The Queen suddenly pursed her lips and laughed. Chen Mo. Queen suddenly pursed her lips and laughed. Chen Mo. Queen suddenly pursed her lips and laughed.